always give what you can, even if your allies draw lines in the sand and dig. Always dig a little deeper. Sometimes it's hard to be my brother's keeper. Love, so you let love in. Baby, I am home in the wake of your skin, and it's crazy how we wear a ceremony. Always be open to your path and your journey. Yes, she cradles my loneliness. Our home in a forest nest. Universal test. Feel the weight of my love. Put your hand on my chest and rest. In the cradle of my arms, the battle that we face is the place where our scars come from. And to pick up the gun, my love, we are destined to teach these ones to be brave and never run away. Courage is birth from the womb on the first light of day. Yeah, the day you were born, you came out perfect, never meant to be torn in silence. Never been so loud in the violence, never been so proud of our people. When we're fighting for a change, not afraid to lose it all, despite all the rage. We are animals, and we cannot be caged. Provoke us to fight, so we burn a little sage and write poetry. Wiser than the enemy will ever be. The minority and authority. Are you here to protect or arrest me? I can't tolerate the hate and I'm losing sleep. Can't breathe 'cause they're choking out a war in me. Immorality, yeah. Love letters to God. I wonder if she reads them or if they get lost in the stars, stars, stars. So many parts to every heart. If there's no beginning, then where would you start? Start, start. Where would you start? Human souls, so we carve them into storytelling poles. Cause we're always searching for a certain goal, a pattern of physics or role. Don't believe how you're told and open up your fist. A misconception, you can fight like this and praise. With the power of prayer, if God's on our side, we can take the stairs to the heavens. Flipping to my chapter 7, I live with the snakes and the great deception, no caught. And this country from men who steal from the mother on paper with pen, and we're tripping down a red dirt road and we're asking, is this the way we should go? Kissing soft top beat, oh my God, this we walk the earth, baby, yeah, we got this focus. And it's redirected, grateful, and I'm resurrected, stubborn, but I know the way. You're the skin on my drum to your rhythm, I will sway, take my hand, I won't lead you astray. We will not go down, leave the darkest of days. Grandma's here, and she says persevere. Take a walk in her marks, see a trail of tears, and our fears are the same as the everywhere fears. And I'm the pain of a Holocaust years. Always moving in motion, maybe, baby, being not another notion. Your arches, how they bend and contract on my conscience. Never slip through the grip of my thesis. And my theory is a shine in your presence. I deliver into you. Love letters to God. I wonder if she reads them, if they get lost in the stars, stars, stars. So many hearts to every heart. If there's no beginning, then where will we start?
Okay, that's enough. It's getting all emotional. 3 years ago was the first time I heard this song. I go back to the comment that I wrote the day that I heard the song for the first time. My soul busted wide open. I was guided to this song. I've waited forever and a day to feel this song. Miigwech, I'm speechless, overflowing with love. I see you. And may the white roots of peace amplified within me from this feeling of hearing your words and beats keep shining bright as the spirit of the bear. Daisies, dragonflies, and light I send you through the winds of change. We are one. These are the days we have waited for. It's the most beautiful vibe to feel. The rainbow warriors waking up worldwide. That was 3 years ago I wrote that. First time I heard this song. Worldwide. I feel like naive sometimes. 3 years. If there's no beginning, where do we start? Anyways, it's gonna leave it at that. Happy Saturn's Day. We are the 28th, I do believe. I'm not even sure. Yes, 15:21, 3:21 Eastern Time on the 28th. Could be 15:22. My phone sometimes it's about a minute.
It's 3:22.
Yeah, so Lily states the correct time. My phone is behind. It has been ever since February 20-something last year when I reset my device. Hi, Matthew. Thanks for coming in, dude. I don't know if you staying or if you're just passing through, but I was thinking about you. I saw you when you peeked in yesterday to Corey's live stream saying you were on lunch, just kind of poking in. So thanks for poking in here too, dude. Appreciate you. Hey, TWP, popcorn, what's poppin'? Not much. I don't even have any popcorn. I keep meaning to buy some for my daughter because I'm not really into popcorn so much, but I always forget. Bad mom, no popcorn. Remember the popcorn. Remember the popcorn, Jen. How's your guys' day going? And it's okay if you choose not to chit and chat. I decided to come in to just hold some space. Whoever chooses to feel to come in and chit and chat, we'll roll off that for the conversation flow. And if I'm meant to hold it my own, I'll pull a few cards and we'll see what happens, right? Hi, Scratch. How's you doing today? If it's 3:20 something for me, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 or 9 for you, Scratch? You always forget. You'd think I'd be like really used to the time zones and be able to like multiply, amplify, and figure out what time it is for everybody, but I still forget. And I say that, but I've got like hundreds of people in different time zones, so excuse me if I don't retain a lot sometimes and can't remember, right? Hey, Matrix Man. How's your day going, dude? Mia, I don't know if you saw one of my last comments last night in your live stream was, oh my gosh, I'm eating pizza with maple syrup and mayonnaise. And I ended up kind of falling asleep not long after that. I didn't even make it till 11. I swear. I didn't even make it till 11. I usually like kind of get that knockout feeling around midnight like Cinderella, but I didn't even make it to midnight last night. This being said, I woke up at 2:18, boom, like a shot, and I was up till 9 a.m. after. So yeah, the sleep cycles are like, whoa. Matthew, I wish I could have stayed longer yesterday for Corey's. Here today for a while though. All right on. It's always great to see you live. Thank you. I was kind of pissy and pity party mode in Corey's chat last night to the point that I was like, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. And I was like, just, oh, shit. Like, oh, damn. And feeling like whatever I was feeling. And then all of a sudden, I swear it was so surreal. I was feeling what I was feeling. And then I swear I got dragged back in. I was sitting and saying, don't go back, don't pour that energy, retransmute what I'm feeling, and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, my phone in my pocket of my coat, because I was having a smoke, started talking. Then when I grabbed it, it wasn't actually on, but everything was like, just get your ass back in here. It's okay if you feel like this. We love you anyways. I'm one to try to hold the line of being positive and certain things. So when I do feel the way that I feel bad, that I'm sharing it in a way, because it's like, shit, if I'm the one that's like holding the line of like something positive and then I actually am not feeling that, how that ripple affects, right? But anyways, long story short, I went back in feeling a little bit better and just like, fuck, I'm not the only one that feels like this, right? Let's just move right along, little doggies. Hi Trace B, he sent me a bear pic. Rawr, he's going to see it now. Bear pic, I'm on it. It's coming up, it's coming up. Whee! Roar! Oh, is that where you are now, sweetie? Oh my gosh. And the brick. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so close to you because my house is like this. It's very bricky. I live in another brick in the walls. Right? We love him. Too cute. Thank you. And boom. Just to show the sync of the flow, I told Annie I'm going in. Flow, baby, flow, here I go. Me loves you. And she sent me an emoji of a bear. Can you see it? And me was like, yeah, bear mode activated. So that's how, like, boom, right? When we're synced, how parallel, how connected, how everything flows. Give me a second. Sorry, I never check my texts, but now that I check the one, I gotta check this one. Yeah, I do usually center focused right on the stream and don't check my stuff, but I had to check that one too. Kiki, he loves you. I don't know if she's gonna come in, but I told her I'm streaming. Are you coming? Matrix Man, stoned and lazy. Do you know the definition of lazy is to be inert, not of action? So it's actually a good thing to be. More often than people believe, actually. You know what I'm saying? We're programmed to believe that if we're inert and not of action, that is lazy, but lazy is a good thing to be. It is. It's where we get that downtime. It's where we can, flow through the stuff. I call lazy more meditating, right? Trance mode, daydreaming. Those words are positive in my vocabulary and mindset, right? When people are like all go 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 and they got the list of all they do, and it's like, bro, when you fall, you're gonna crash hard, right? You don't know how to rest. And how, when life decides you're going to rest because you don't know how, it's amplified. It's so different than when we can choose, right? Scratch, doing good. It's 8:30. Hope I'm having a good day. My day is special beyond words, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And when my days are special beyond words, I throw myself into the whee, never never of let's just go stream. Card number 9, communication. I'm not going to interpret the card. I'm not really going to say anything about it. Grab what you feel about communication, communication, community, communication. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. I feel that I'm going to be streaming one day and then whoops, light a card on fire. So if ever that happens, somebody make sure I have a fire extinguisher. Gunnar c'est la vie, bonjour, il est 20h25 en France. Rosanna, gratitude. 21h25. I prefer that way of telling time, seeing time as well. How's everything going for you, Gunnar? Double Matt's in the chat. Matthew and Matrix Man. Maybe there's a third. And is there a third? Is there a third Matthew somewhere? Good things come in threes. You are with the bear? Roar. So you're in a brick house with a bear at the door. I could not be more synced than that, eh, baby girl? You quiet and good? And Trey specifies, probably lazy like you, Matt. Good. Be lazy, guys. Allow it. The energies are what they are. Our bodies need what they need. And take care of you. Scratch, my last dog's nickname was Bear. She was a big old doggy. Boom, you just reminded me it's somebody's birthday and I didn't wish her happy birthday yet. And her dog is named Bear too. I got it just quick. The weird...
Bear is named Barry. It's true. I have a bear
Yeah,
named Barry.
she has a bear named Barry, Lily
But
says.
I live free.
Thank you, Scratch. You just made it that in real time I can wish somebody a happy birthday and not forget. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Scratch says my last dog's name was Bear. She was a big old doggy. Her real name was Sheesh. Meant brown bear in Alaskan. I would call that Inuit, not Alaskan, but hey, who knows? She was gigantic, red and white Malamute. Roar. I've had my family, we had sled dogs in my lifetime, like for real, right? Not just one or two dogs. I think at our, excuse me, there's like something tickling my eyeball. Of course. We had sled dogs in my lifetime in the late 80s, early 90s, and various ones of that shade, the Malamute, that were like more like redheads, right? Redhead dogs. And all sorts of like mixed breeds as well. Yeah, at the most, I think it was about 50 that we had all at the same time, and then boom, a litter would come in, right? Yeah, you ain't never experienced what true dog intimacy is until you've actually been near when huskies are mating. Oh my God. Oh God, it's shocking. It's like the rudest awakening of a dog intimacy ever. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, because if you got no clue what that means, then you keep your naivete and you believe everything is really beautiful when it, decides to propagate part of our species. Holy shitballs. Whew. Gunnar, I'm resting as you said, recharging, healing, and exploring slowly. Good. Right on, dude. Thanks for taking the time to come here. Hey, Dana. How you doing? Roar. That sounds awesome, dude. I'd rather be, I wouldn't be chopping the wood. I'd be more stacking it, cording it. But I would rather be doing that right now if I could, to be honest. Not saying that in a bad way, you know what I mean? But if I had the life I wanted, I definitely would be doing something that has to do with the wood. Maybe not chopping wood at this time because it would already be done, but bringing some in because more needs to be brought in, maybe. Anyways, we are the conscious evolution. Just wanted to say hello, bring some love to the live chat. I gotta go finish chopping the wood now. Chop wood, carry water. You don't know what true reality entails until you've done certain things like that, I believe. And the other day I was really trying to think, like, what the fuck is holding the collective, what is it that holds the collective in such a preferring the bubble of whatever they're, hiding their heads in the sand about. And it's like, I come from a life path that's very different, even from the people that I grew up, close or, around. because we always had a connection to nature within my family, and to the point where I've lived timelines where, we either lived somewhere or decided to have, had a cottage where there was no heat, electric heat, there was no running water, there was no amenities. So when we left the city to go to the cottage for the weekend, there was an effort to be made. It wasn't just, you know what I mean? Like how fancy city people will go on a vacation, but they go on a vacation to a cabin that's a resort that they got the TV and everything's just the same as their house, but they think they're roughing it. The way that kind of glamping now, you know what I mean? Like fancy camping is a thing, but it's like, yeah, that's not the same as, going in the bush. There's no extension for electricity, and you got to do stuff manually to sustain yourself, right? But yeah, I was thinking the other day how, so many people on the planet right now are vegans, and they believe that farms are destroying the earth. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's the factories that are being producing your vegan shit that's not good. It's not the farms, right? Like, how nothing makes sense. But it can't make sense if you've never lived life from a certain perspective. And people will watch movies about people in the past or who live a certain way, but then they consider those people like, hillbillies or not whatever. But it's like, that's the actual reality. Cities aren't real. Like, they are because that's what people believe, because that's all they know, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so, whoa. Anyways, that was a long ramble, but I'm catching up to the chat. Hi, Delaney Pearl Jones. How's you doing, honey? Amber, you gotta go shopping yourself? Ooh, like a big girl. You got this. I call going shopping hunting, gathering, and foraging, because although, I'm going to a grocery store, it's like, oh my gosh, right? Amber says, I'm not chopping though, but you might end up chopping some vegetables or something later. Hey guys, I see some people coming into the chat. I'm not caught up, so please don't feel I'm ignoring you yet. I just haven't gotten to you yet. I'm just teasing. Yeah, you might be chopping some vegetables or some fruit something later, Amber, after your groceries. Bonjour, Sweet Peas Québec. Coucou, Geneviève. Comment ça va? Comment ça va, ma belle? Double French people in the chat. Gunnar C'est La Vie, who's in Europe, and Sweet Peas Quebec, who is like just across the border from me. He comes from Quebec, but he lives in Ontario right now. Scratch, she was a stunning dog. Roar. Were both her eyes the same color? Because not all huskies have, the blue and the brown eye, but sometimes, you know what I mean? They do. Gunnar C'est La Vie, amour et sagesse d'amour pour tous. Yeah, Trace B, fitty dogs. Whoa, yes. And this is the thing about dogs. Kiki, I don't know if you decided to come in, but remember a couple years ago when you said I'm a dog walker, and I was like, oh yeah, baby, you're a dog walker, but nobody talks about the pooper scooping part, right? You got what you got to pick up. You walking one dog, you got to pick up the poop, right? And it's like, way years back when I had my blended family, and my stepson was like, oh my god, I have to go pick up Lily Dog's poo, and he was just like, oh, I can't believe you guys make me do this. And it's like, bruh, are you fucking kidding me? When I was your age, actually no, I was older, I was like, when I was 19, 20, and 21, I was picking up dog shit for like 25 to 50 dogs. You think one dog's poop soup is traumatizing? It is not. And he would like look at me and be like, yeah, right. And I was like, no, we had sled dogs, and the poop just doesn't disappear. Somebody has to pick it up. And there were timelines when me and my sister, or just me or just my sister in general, were in charge. My parents were gone to do something, and we would leave the poop soup in the middle of summer for like a couple days because it was the weekend. We wanted to party and we had so much fun. And then came Monday when like 3 days of accumulated 20 to 25 or 30 dogs of poop has been marinating in the sun. And you know, I want to say it's glamorous, and it's like, no, it's not, because it's just buckets and you're shoveling shit into the buckets and then bringing the buckets of where the, you know, whole pile of kit and caboodle goes. And then in the winter, how it's like rock hard, and you tell yourself, oh, it's not a big deal, it's frozen. But if you leave it there, and you know, and then it gets nice out. So it's like the line from Mad Max, beyond, is it Mad Max Thunderdome? When Tina Turner turns around and she says, "You can shovel shit, can't you?" It's like, yeah, I can. Yes, Tina, I can shovel shit. And that's the thing, eh? People want to glorify having farms or having dogs or having chickens, even, but there is like a process of the background that, you know, you have to be aware of, and actually, you know, there's action to be had. Okay, now that I've talked about poop for a long time and still managed to sustain having 13 people stay, what we gonna talk about next? Matrix Man, let's get it on, doggy. Right, Delaney specifying, I just subbed to everyone in chat. Sub me and I'll sub you back. Yep, that's why I put everybody as blue. I don't call it moderators because there's no really reason for moderating unless there is, right? But by being blue, having the wrench means you can go in and find other people and share your vids or share what you would like to share in here. Sharing is caring. We are the conscious evolution. Chopping wood is better than going to the gym. Indeed. And it's a part of why my mindset doesn't resonate with gyms, is that there is a way, even if you don't chop wood, to stay physically fit by just doing normal things, but doing them with conscious movements. So years ago, like I would tell people, like people would ask, because right now I'm in a state where I've allowed myself to be a little bit padded. It helps me to ground in the energies. So I chose to have a winter padding. It just, for me, it serves me well. I've been testing and flowing and manifesting my body in certain ways for, I don't know, years now. And just to see, like, when I'm buff versus when I have padding, how the energies are during specific times of the year. And so I don't know, I guess I play with it to also have a different form, right? I accept all the embodiments that I have. Years ago, people would ask me, they still will sometimes, but whatever, how do you be 40 and look like you look, like, right? How do you be 50? And it's like, because the conscious, first of all, not being, we all fluctuate. You gotta go, Kiki? Okay, I'm not caught up. Love you, sweetie. As masculine and feminine humans, we all fluctuate in weight. And then there's some of us who can choose what we need to harness in ourselves, right? But how? We don't need to pay anyone, and we definitely don't need to pay an institution in order to stay physically fit. Everything we can choose to do that must be done in our reality, we can amplify, right? So it's the power of the mind, amplifying what we do. Oh man, Frack, you know I blocked you. I told you I blocked you months ago, and I don't know how to unblock you. So you can either choose to come in a way that's peaceful, or please do go, because I got no energy for certain victim vibes right now. None, honey. Right? In the day that I blocked you, I even gave you like a boom, boom, boom warnings. So yeah, it's fine. I get it that you might feel hurt by something that happened like months ago. But dude, you know what I mean? I don't know how to unblock. First of all, that's why I never really block people, and I give you ample warnings when I do. And it's only happened 3 to 4 times in 3.5 years. You got to push me to a limit for me to block. Right? So I got no patience for types of games today, honey. You know what I mean? I'm the one up here. Choose the way you're going to figure it out. Anyways, I forget anything I was saying. I'm going to just focus on the chat that's there. Connaissez la vie, c'est Sweet Peace Quebec. Yeah. I love having different, I love it when I can say stuff in French and then just other people get it, right? Delaney, I wish I could chop wood to release my anger. It's definitely, yeah. Scratch says get a punch bag, Delaney. That's what I did. Me cannot do that. I'm not good with impact. And I tried it. I've tried it before. And punching and actually having impact with a bag is like, ew, David. Like, no, it's not for me. Punching without having any impact to something will release certain energies, but I'm not good with impact. Trace B says it's a sweet release, chopping wood. Yeah. With a good axe, it's got to be sharp. If there's one thing I've learned, right? Oh my God. It's like same as a kitchen knife, right? You don't really cut yourself on with a sharp knife. You'll cut yourself with a knife that's too dull. I don't know what was written, so I don't know if it was for real. I never got a chance to see it, Scratch. So I trust your judgment that if it was weird, you know what I mean? Like I said before, I don't like for people to be timed out sometimes because sometimes people come in and you don't know them yet because they're gray. They're not blue yet, but they're from my timelines of my first years on YouTube and they're coming to check in. But I didn't get a chance to see what was going on, and I trust your judgment of what you chose to take away. I don't have energy to put forth towards bullshit like zip right now, right? I'm showing up in order to gather us, have a space where people can talk, but I got zero energy for the bullshit. None. We are the conscious evolution. I live in West Virginia and we got called hillbillies a lot. Roar, yeah. Me is very well aware of that. Most people that I've ever met face to face from the States were from, West Virginia and parts of Ohio or just certain states. And the mentality of the words that people use, right? One of the funnest things that I found when I had my restaurant or was working restaurants, and you know how we will use different words but for the same thing, but how the same thing does not taste the same from province to province, from state to state, from country to country, right? So gravy versus sauce versus whatever the other words that people use, right? Like, is funny. Thanks for coming in, Kiki. Moi, ça va bien, Sweet Peace Quebec, merci. Matthew, it really does feel like the higher humanity builds the tower and the more it hurts when it falls. I'll take sea level. Roar. Delaney says, I'm doing okay. We're getting a big snowfall in Janesville. Jane Sink. Sweet Jane by the Cowboy Junkies and Jane by the Bare Naked Ladies are two of my go-to songs. Also had a 40 car, Janesville, Wisconsin, also had a 40 car pileup on our local highway yesterday. Oh, roar, sweetie. As far as I know, that hasn't happened here in like a couple weeks. Either close or, you know, within because I'm about 3.5, 4 hours away from Toronto, which our Toronto is like y'all's New York type of thing, like the big place that whatever is the Mecca, and so many people live there, right? And I know that yesterday, or actually Wednesday, on my IG, they had a storm in Toronto, so people were lined up because, you know, to take the subway or the bus, but the subway and the bus wasn't showing up. And it was just like, I was shaking my head because it's like, duh, Even I don't even live in Toronto, and I knew there was a storm coming. Why the fuck did you go to work? Why did you go do what you thought you were supposed to do, right? And I'm not saying, just like, people from, we call it down south here, even if it's not super far and it's not really south, but that's the way people speak around here. And people from down south don't even have proper winter gear, and then they'll go out in the middle of a storm thinking that it's fine, it's fine. So sometimes human perspective of what they think they can do blows my mind, right? As humans, we have been programmed to believe in a rat race and to believe that we are in, that the elements don't choose certain things. And it's like, it's backwards, right? We're meant to be laying low in the winter and not be trying to be out and about doing certain things certain ways. Oh, Sweet Peace Québec, mon fils va avoir un garçon et je vais être grand-maman à la fin d'avril. Oh, comment s'appelle ton fils? Mon fils s'appelle Samuel. Just wondering if there's a sync with our son's names, sweetie. Wow, that's so cool. Me happy for you. And them, everybody, your whole family. Scratch. The eyes were hazel. Malamutes and Huskies are very different dogs. Malamutes are a lot bigger and stronger. One can pull 1.5 tons. Kiki, those Goldens each pooped 3 times. Oh my gosh, eh? Yeah. Yeah, little me didn't stand a chance of walking her. Indeed. Yeah. I've known people who push their luck. They fall in love with a husky or a Malamute, and then they think that they can just live and it, make it like a dog like everybody else. And it's like, it doesn't always work. We got a dog next door that's a crossbreed, and he loves, and he's there, like, he's the soulmate of his owner. And so he is used to being inside and doesn't act up, and he doesn't, do certain things, but it's because they have a synergy of whoa, right? Hey, Bravery, and I saw William. Nice, me loves that name, William. Thank you for answering that, Sweet Peace Quebec. Yeah, Scratch. You say I have to unblock people through my Google account, not my YouTube. I mean, very honest, Scratch. I am not so fucking tech savvy. Logging into a bunch of different stuff all the time is like way over my head. DJ is. I don't know if you're here, just happen to be here or not, but he sent me. He sent me certain links for certain things, and when I was trying to just press on them, like how confused I can get, like wanting me to log into this, log into that, and all this shit popping up. And it's just like, I do what I can, the best I can, and there's certain things that the easy stuff for someone else is very confusing or hard for me to just do. Whereas, somebody else couldn't look at the camera for 3 hours sustained and speak, from the heart, and that comes easy for me, right? So the stuff that is just child's play to normal people that are techie or that aren't even techie is like, wee, right? So yeah. I'm not sure. Thanks for saying that, Dana. We are the conscious evolution. I'm 51 and I'm in better shape now than I was 10 or 20 years ago. Boom. Same. Same. Yes. My flexibility, my certain things I didn't even have in my childhood or my early youth, right? Or my early 20s. For real. Amber says chopping fruit is satisfying, and Trace says so is cutting onions. Yeah, me loves cutting onions. Me does. Me loves cutting anything. I never lost that part of my love of food, right? I don't think that's the base. I think it's the basic connection with our food is to wash it, prep it the way it needs. Hey, Bravery, I see you down there. Delaney, you understand what I mean, eh? I almost broke my wrist the other day punching my wall. I don't enjoy the punching or the boxing. Exactly, it does not serve a greater good, right? The impact part, Delaney. Punching the air, though, like, does, because there's no impact. Amber, stab a watermelon. Ooh, you gotta be careful. Those are really round. Or a potato. Scratch, well, if that was the person I dealt with, maybe if he treats G with respect, he'd last longer. If he wants to speak to people like that, it can take 5 minutes to learn some manners. Rar. Thank you then, Scratch, for taking it down before I could even see it, because I didn't even get to. And again, I'm going to repeat, because I've already said it, I don't have the energy or the strength for being graceful under fire, right? This is a sanctum. It's a safe place for people who want to gather. And, you know, people are free to come and go, take what resonates, leave the rest. And definitely, you want to objectify me and say certain things, I don't play the games. Hey, No Fly Zone. Thanks for coming in, dude. How's everything going for you? I'm late in the chat, so I'm bouncing because I see somebody pop up from the one, because I work off this screen for the real chat because it's easier to read, but then I'll see the pop-ups of other stuff. So Trace, I like to punch. There's something about it. I think that my liking to punch stopped because I did enjoy it differently before. I think it was in my 30s that it stopped. Hey, Jansu. Alex, comment ça va? Thanks for being here. All numbers are nice. Yes, apparently I'm at 666 subs. I don't know. It fluctuates a lot. I was at 666 a couple days ago, someone pointed out, and if I'm back to that, that's kind of funny because I've actually brought in people, more people sub me in the last 4 or 5 days. I'm conscious of it. I get the email or I get a pop, it's in my feed. So again, how my numbers always either stay the same or go back down. They don't ever really rise, right? Hi, Mr. Hugh. Yeah, Eddie. How you doing, Eddie? Delaney, it's good for you to realize how important your hands are for making money and for just taking care of ourselves for real, Eddie. Hopefully you'll realize the self-abuse and you know where maybe anger management and self-love. And that's the thing is it's in my 30s that I really realized I'm destroying myself by trying to any type of impact, right? If that makes any sense. Plus in my 30s is when I started having, you know what I mean, from regular routine of restaurant work and, you know, picking up like 50 pounds of potatoes and picking up stuff all the time. My wrists and my, you know, from the hard labor were just, I have to be more careful, right? There is no acting out with my hands and then thinking that it's fine, right? Yes, Amber, 666 is actually divine harmony. Indeed, 666 is a power number, just like 13 is, right? That's part of the inversion. Road Trip says, hi, Alex, and everyone out there. Good day, vibes to all. You as well. Delaney says, look here, Bruce Lee is the king of my Dragon Council spirit guides, and he really is a big help to me. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't speak the same way, but I do have a certain connection to Bruce Lee, and it's a part of the knowing that I can't do certain things. It's not good for me. Raw, Delaney, I have dignity and integrity. I believe in karma. How's it going, Bravery? Scratch, you know what I'm saying, eh? Yeah, I hate all the tech stuff too. It's a headache I'd rather not have, so I get ya. Indeed. And I don't play around with certain buttons on my stuff. So when I get to the point that I did, there's a reason. Va donc. Sweet Pea, j'ai aussi 2 filles, Marie-Lou et Maria Soleil. Ah ben, Colin de Bin. Marie-Lou et Maria Soleil. Lily Rose's second name is Soleil. Lily Rose Soleil Hope. You heading out for the groceries? Go, Amber. You're probably already gone. Have fun, dude. Are you still here, Amber? Because I got some grocery shopping advice if you're not already gone. But if you're already gone, then you don't need it. Jan, I haven't been doing good health-wise for about 2 years. I've tested positive for lupus twice. But since it's in the lower levels, the doctors want to just call it fibromyalgia. I know that last week I directed Nathan, Wolf Dude, towards someone to speak health-wise, and really it's radical choices, right? Radical choices, zero meat, zero cheese, berries and watermelon, and for 6 months, right? It's the radical complete boom. There is no, once the body is past a certain point, there's no playing around, right? And I say radical 6 months, you know what I mean? If it was right, the complete, as above so below, learning about the body. Emoji King's also very good for information about, or to direct someone for certain body wise stuff. I am not, right? But I do have, I am not one to be a teacher or to have the knowings or to be able to explain or to be able to, speak to somebody and know what they would need. But I do have a solid foundation of people I could send other people to. Does that make sense? So part of my gathering, my purpose, and my mission of being the gatherer that I am, for years I've accumulated people from different kind of tribe vibe mentalities, different perspectives from across the world, right? So my perspectives and how I speak about stuff, I have people who are of all sorts of knowings and teachings and true, right? uh, Educated nutritionists and stuff like that. Excuse me, I'm not even good at knowing the words, right? But so I can't make a plan with somebody, but I can direct people for where to go. And it's radical change. It is, you know what I mean? And the radical change, I remember a native New Yorker last year, he posted a video of how he used to look versus how he looks now. He's on my IG. I don't know if you have him in your stuff, guys, if you're on IG, but he's also on Instagram. YouTube. I've shared him a few times. He tends to go through John Binney's stuff, so if you don't recognize his name, that's kind of the tribe line of finding him. But he posted a picture of before and then now where he's at, and spoke of, wrote in the comment a little bit about how, when you decide to take a charge of your life, how it affects other people and stuff. And then I wrote back in a comment, I was like, yeah, it's when we actually speak openly and authentically of how hard it is to change anything about our body, about our lifestyle, but then the ripple effect of how it affects others, which it shouldn't, because that's a codependence, and that's right, all of that. People don't want you to better yourself, because then that makes them have to see themselves in the mirror as well. But anyways, my comment directed to him was like, wow, you come from a certain background of a family. It must have been a really rough road for you, because the mentality of certain family lines is, if you feed people, that's love, and when people eat your food, that means love. So when you go to a family party and you're not going to partake in the regular foods that are made out of love for you, how that hurts, offends, and makes somebody feel bad, but it's not personal, right? Or how you can think you have so many friends and then you stop drinking, right? You have so many friends, but then stop drinking. Don't consume any alcohol at all. And how? Very either obviously or little by little, things and people fall away. How you used to be invited all the time to everything everywhere that was going on, and now it's very rare because people feel bad about their drinking, and they don't want to be around people who don't drink, right? Like it's huge how when we take charge of something for ourselves instead of having the elevation, having the support. um there was a timeline where I wasn't eating any meat at all. I wasn't labeling myself, right? If you've ever watched me, you know I don't label myself as anything, but I have stages where I do or I don't eat certain things. And so, you know, I grew up with a mother who was shocked by how much meat I needed. Like, fuck, it used to actually be an issue of how she talked about me or made me feel about myself. And then all of a sudden, I'm in my 40s and I'm in a timeline where I'm not consuming any meat at all. But boom, my mother has become keto. So it's like everything reversed of everything, and then the feeling of what it's like to go to your own parents' house, and that, you know what I mean, that there's more meat than there ever was. There's no bread or cheese to choose from and pick at. There's only like meat and cabbage, for example, on a plate, and there's no extra, there's no salad, there's no nothing. And how, you know what I mean, like it's like, oh, okay, you know what I mean, the feeling of that, and not knowing or not being able to, right, have certain things that you need for your body at the time. Yeah, no fly, everything's okay with me. Thanks for Scratch. Sorry, mod mode came in. I was a full-time mod for bigger channels for years. As a rule, I only dive on disrespect. There's no need for it. I took a disliking to this comment aimed at you. Well, one thing's for sure, Scratch, is whoever that was wasn't somebody that was real, or that it was an inside joke with me, because otherwise they would have stayed or come back or said something different, right? So thank you. Roar. Jan, I finally got healthcare in Oregon. Hoping I can finally get treated for what is actually ailing me. Jan, it's heartbreaking because I'm forgetting a lot lately, because lupus attacks your own organs, including your brain. I'm not aware of lupus. Like, I know, but I don't know. And I know that within the fact of there being something, you know, specific with the body, much of our memory banks are being stripped of certain things as other gifts and other abilities come online as well. So it must be super confusing, Jan. Sweet Pea, Maya Soleil a 14 ans. C'est la seule que, à présent, son prénom, à ce que prénom mes allocations familiales m'ont dit. Lily, elle a 11 ans. She's 11. And my other children are 22 and 25. Rar, Jan. Exactly, Jean. I'm going to try to follow a strict eating plan, vegetarian and other elements, trying to be alkaline. I'm a believer in Dr. Sebi. I don't know if I'm saying it. Oh, I'm caught up to the chat, guys. Whee! I'm a believer in Dr. Sebi. Not sure if I'm pronouncing. I'm trying to follow his teachings. Alex specifies sometimes the body needs a little shock. Yeah. And the important thing when going into changing radically and following the strictness is that there has to be some sort of treat or pleasure as well, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a food treat, but some sort of treat, something that gives the incentive. So, and as well, very radical self-forgiveness if you choose to partake of something, because it's actually what makes our bodies, right, have certain things that happen is also our mentality towards it. If you feel ashamed of yourself because you're drinking alcohol, for example, or if you feel ashamed of yourself because you had chocolate, how it's going to affect your body is completely radically different than somebody who is, I want this chocolate, I'm going to eat it, it's good for me, right? Some people don't have shame of drinking, guys, right? We are not the type of people who feel like everything that we fucking touch is shameful, right? So that's why some people can ask me over my life, and especially because now, like, I don't hide that I'm 50, and I say I'm 51 because I am. I even amplify and say I'm 52 because I kind of like that number, and it's like good, right? Because I amplify towards what I am becoming and what I actually am. I never look back. I am actually insulted when I say I'm 51 and somebody says, oh, it's fine, we'll say you're 29. No, I'm 51. No, I don't want to be a fucking little fucking girl or 22-year-old me. I'm 51, right? So just that as well, the mentality that I have towards my age and amplifying up because I want to get there, because I see myself enjoying 50, it is enjoyable. And in my 30s, when I started to see the reflection of everyone around me who was turning 40, 50, or 60 and how they felt, and how I was seeing, like, oh my God, like everybody's like fucking depressed because they're turning 30. Like, what the fuck? It's like a whole lifetime of not being happy with our age, right? So I told myself in my 30s, I will accept the aging process. I will not become the, oh, I'm this age, or oh, I'm not. In fact, I look towards the future as, you know, the rhyming part, right? So I'm 50. I like the 50, right? And when I bounce into 55, that's a power number. When I get to 60, you know what I mean? When I get to 80, you know how beautiful it's going to be 80? Because everything rhymes with matey. I got 10 fucking years coming, like in 30 years, that everything's going to rhyme with matey. I might even get an eye patch just for fun, because everything's going to rhyme with matey. I'm 80, matey, right? It's the wanting to be that, not looking back, you know what I mean? Looking back. And this is something in my 30s as well, that it was like, okay, I'm in my 30s. And when I was really little, I was told, when you grow up, you'll be able to do what you want and you'll be able to make your own choices. When I was a teenager, I was told, when you're older, you'll get some respect. Right now, you're just a fucking stupid teenager. You know nothing. Then I was in my 20s and I was a young mom, well, young-ish mom at 24. You don't know enough. You're only in your 20s. You don't have the experience of other people yet. You will see when you get older. Then all of a sudden I'm 30 and fucking people are like making jokes about my age and telling me I'm almost over the hill. And I'm like, what? Like, I just fucking got here on this planet. It's been 30 years and I'm supposed to follow the programs of what other people believe about, you know, the jokes, the bullying, the saying stupid shit. I received one fucking thing from my birthday that was physical and tactile this year. And it's a card that makes fun of the age, not something pretty. And it was just like, whoa, okay, so somebody, you know, chose to make an effort to get me a card that instead of something beautiful or kind, is making jokes about age. And that's why other people around me, everybody fucking feels old because they're fucking joking about it or feeling, right? I'm a person who sits right on the ground. And then when I'm with people who are of a certain age, they're like, oh, it's a long way up from there. What the fuck? I always sit on the ground. I'm not going to change. I'm going to be 80 years old sitting in a fucking ball on the ground and jumping back up. Right? Like, I don't have to believe just because everybody else is choosing to harness like programs of eternal youth. What the fuck? If I wanted to be eternal youth, ew. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me, right? Accepting ourselves for who we are, where we're going, what we've done. 60 is what? I don't know. Rhymes with that.
60.
Huh?
60 Mitty.
60 Mitty, Lily says. Haha. Wait for 60, baby. 60 is not bad. Me loves you, Annie D. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to get my rhyming dictionary out, I guess. Oh my god. You get it, eh, Trace? I'm going to just grab that song. Andy Grammer, Don't Give Up on Me. I'm not going to play him now because that will probably get me cut. We'll see. Thanks for sharing, Jan. You will check it out later. Ha! Trace B, the only surprise party I've ever had was my 40th, and it had over-the-hill balloons and bullshit. $41 bills spread out. What the hell y'all doing? I don't understand, and it's like, I think as well, it's one of the reasons that there's certain people who it doesn't resonate, or it doesn't even match for us to be trying to be continuing any type of sustained relationship or continue to speak, because I can't do it anymore, of these certain ways that people speak. Or when people will say to me, like, don't you need a break? You're with Lily all the time. And it's like, no, I don't. I would wish for her to have certain things or certain events or certain people, sure. But do I need a break? No. I had consciously chose to have a child knowing what it meant to have one, because I'd already had 2 plus stepchildren. And there is no, the jokes that people make of like, I need a vacation from my children. Well, you do get a vacation. You stick them in school all day long. Then you got them in activities like most nights and weekends. So when are you actually with your kids that you're making jokes that you need more time off? Right? I was in a room once with like many women who were like, you know, youngish moms from like, I don't know, 5 to 12 maybe. They hadn't even hit, most of them like teenager age, and they were all just like talking about how they need their 2-week vacation without their kids, that they wouldn't be able to survive, how if they don't have wine they wouldn't be able to survive, all these things. And it's like, well shit, I drink wine, but it's not because I need it because I'm a kid. It's because I like it. It's got nothing to do with, you know, surviving. Just how people speak, right? And why did people have children if it's just decorative, right? Let's get married, let's get a house, let's have some kids, and then let's send the kids off, and everybody else will raise our kids except for us. And then you think your kids are a handful, but it's because they don't even know you, right? People think they know their kids, but they don't. Because when their kids speak up and say, I'm being bullied at school, I don't like going to dance, I don't like this. Well, you have to do that, right? So, you know, the cycle of how I've seen certain of my soul children, or the children that I had, you know, in my life path, and how they were so overprotected and so put all the time, activity this, activity that, dance this, and then once they graduated high school and were on their own, they got no fucking clue and how they could make choices, and some of them still have not rewired themselves to be fully functioning adults, because they were so controlled and told what to do as children and young adults, teenagers, that once they got loose of that, like, holy shit, right? It's crazy. Scratch. I'm nearly 50 and I still act like I did when I was 18. Alex, I resonate with that. No matter how much we learn in our lives, we die stupid anyways. I'm kind of excited about my 70s, Annie, because 7 is my birth number, January 7th. I'm 7, right? 7 is one of my favorite numbers. So I even shared my community post not long ago. It was 14:33, I think, Eastern time, but the battery life was at 77, and that's, boom, stuck out. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about the 70s because I like the numbers, right? 50s, 60, 60. I don't know, Trace. Annie D, I resonate with that. I learned that at 62, we might have 6 decades behind us, but at times we're still scared little kids. Yeah, exactly, Annie. And when we can see and believe that of everyone, that it doesn't matter what age we are on this planet, on this earth, that at times, and some people are always afraid. For real. I had somebody who was in his 70s a couple of years ago look at me and say, how is it possible that I'm so alone and so afraid all the time? Right? For real. Matthew, for myself, it's more of an issue of not feeling my age, or rather similar to most others of my age. It can be rough for me feeling the expectation and the resulting scrutiny when I don't fit in. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is that the reflections of people after a certain age, they only speak from certain perspectives, right? So that's it. The open mind of not needing to speak, there's more than words, first of all. The not, I find that it's very hard to find people in reality that are my age or close, that we can have open flow conversations, because the timeline of being 51, where I'm at and where other people are, it's not a reflection, right? And how my age doesn't define something negative about me, but for other people that it does. So right away it eliminates like the freedom of a flow that just, and how, certain people after a certain age are so ingrained in certain beliefs and certain patterns and certain programs that they only have a certain amount of a conversation base, right? If they're not talking about events or other people, there's nothing to talk about, right? Because that's not real. Speaking of other things just isn't real for them. So they have to be talking about events that happened, events that are going to happen, right? So, I mean, by events, they talk about past vacations, past parties, past suppers, past jobs, or future vacations, future parties, future jobs, future projects, right? Whereas being in the now and just talking about what flows is inconceivable, because flow doesn't make sense to them, right? Alex says, Matthew, you only have to live up to yourself. Yep. It's just, we only have ourselves to live up to, but it gets lonely when there's no reflections in reality. And that's why we're online. That's why we're here, right? That's why we do, those of us who hold the space, we do what we do. And those that come in as either the observers or the participants need that, because we need reflections of ourselves. And it doesn't mean like the exact copy reflection, but the bits and pieces that make us feel like normal, feel good, right? Feel safe. Annie D, I just noticed it's 222 and she has 666 subs. Hurrah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna grab a card and then I'm just gonna move around for a little bit. Just stand up. I've been on for a little while and I try to move every hour-ish, because otherwise my everything stagnates. And it helps to refresh. Now that I've caught up with the chat, helps me bounce back in after a little break. Right on. See ya. See ya. Oh my gosh. Is it National, like, oh my gosh day? 'Cause, ugh. Card number 17. 1 and 7 is 8. The storyteller. Identity. Self-definition. Teaching others how to treat you through the stories you tell about who you are. Do you know the story you tell about others, about who you are? You are a unique being with unique talents and a unique story to you and your experience. In fact, your destiny can be found in the way you weave together these threads of your life in this world. If there's anything in your life you want to change, then it's time to adjust the story you tell about yourself. This is funny because, well, funny. This is why I pull cards, because they flow into what I was talking about. Just kind of say it with different words and with some pictures, but how I've been talking for a while about how people perceive their age and what they say about their age versus if you imprint your mind with different imprints and patterns. One thing that I've been doing for years is, first of all, I don't vicariously just look at anything willy-nilly on the internet. Ever. I look at things because there's a reason. I learn, or I grow, or I feel good, or sometimes I don't feel good, but I need to understand something, right? But I've been inspiring myself with people over a certain age that do physical things for a long time, right? So how other people will go watch somebody and make themselves feel bad about who they are because, oh my God, I can't do what she does. And then I go look at people that start to do things at 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and then become a master at it, right? You can find vids or inspiration through people that they didn't work out in their life. They lived their life, they did what they did, and then at 50 or 60 took charge of certain things and completely flipped everything about themselves, right? People who were inert, didn't move and didn't do stuff. Holy fuck, I'm done. Right? People who didn't do things from childhood, people who didn't even learn how to exercise or to eat right, but then all of a sudden decide to do it and share, right? There are people who never did any weightlifting their whole life, and then all of a sudden at 60 or 70 started doing weights, and now they're in competitions. Like, that's extreme, but still, there are examples all over the place of like inspiring stories that don't come from everything had been handed to them and easy, and that they had to choose that, right? For real. It's beautiful. And everything starts within. If we use sarcasm and say things about our own body and other people's, that's what comes back to us. That's it. Right? For real. If you are continually perpetuating certain jokes, certain things, and you wonder, why do I feel like this? Half of what you say that comes out of your mouth or that you look at is such, just, the universe doesn't recognize sarcasm. And if you make fun of your own body or other people's bodies, how that's what you're going to get, is that feeling of in yourself. Right? People who speak positive about their bodies and other people's bodies, we don't feel the same way about aging at all. If there's anything in your life you want to change, then it's time to adjust the story you tell about yourself. Perhaps you are too self-depreciating or apologetic about how you shine, and you minimize your powers so that others will accept you. Perhaps the way your voice You voice your expectations, diminishes your ability to succeed, or you're too willing to tolerate a less than supportive environment. Indeed, they say we are what we eat, but we become or we are affected by who we choose to hang out with or where we choose to be, right? So many of us have been in isolated in different ways for years, and it wasn't even COVID just amplified it or just made it that other people had alone time as well, because the choices that we make to be with people that are less than supportive of what we want to feel, right? So if you're hanging out and going to be around people who tell jokes about bodies and say yucky shit and everybody's this and everybody's that, analyzing everybody else, that's what ripple effects for us. It's very easy to be in denial when it comes to others and their behaviors towards you. Understand, however, you teach people how to treat you through how you talk about yourself. Once you recognize what story you're telling others about how to treat you, you can tell a different one. What if you could connect your true power as a co-creator of your reality? The story originates in your mind, how you think, your conditioning, your past experiences, how you view the world, and what you expect to see in it, right? The truth is, you have everything you need to tell a new tale, weave more blessings into the world as your unique contribution. In fact, practice speaking of your amazing success, your overflowing abundance, and all the love that surrounds you. Cool. I'm just going to catch up with the chat really quick, and then Alex says, I've long since surrendered. I don't fight anything anymore. Yeah, I mean, on a sub level, maybe fight's the wrong word. Annie, yeah, I let the flow pure intuition. I'm lucky I can do that. Things flow that simply cannot be shrugged off or dismissed as chance or coincidence. Indeed, yeah. Exactly, Jen. Says, I feel you, Sandy. I've been focusing on the surrender, and I heard a song of a woman say she didn't want to lose control. And it sounded so odd to me. Madness is trying to control everything. I learned it a long time ago. Yeah, and it's a learning curve all the time, right, Jansu? Because as soon as we think we've let go, then all of a sudden something else happens, or is a part of our reality where we have to let go even more, and it's like, what? Right? Exactly, Annie. Thank you so much. It is not all snow cones and lollipops. Indeed, it is not. And many people choose to only, they can't hold space or witness certain other things. But the result of that is, the collective shit show that we're in, right? Indeed, sometimes it's sparklers and surprises. Indeed, oh my gosh. I'm going to put a little bit of a song on while I move around just to not have a blank space. Feeling to bring a little bit feeling to bring in a little bit of Judy energy as I move around a bit. I won't be too long. Ouch.
Le monde bouge tellement vite. Et si vous pouviez tout arrêter? C'est exactement ce que Ford fait pour vous. Quand vous commandez votre F-150 2023 sur mesure, votre offre est verrouillée. Tout commence ici, chez votre détaillant Ford ou sur Ford.ca.
Scratch, are you still here? I have a question. I was just thinking while I was outside. I have a question for you, Scratch, if you're still here. Hi, Joseph. How are you? Oh, the translator doesn't work? That's okay. Welcome in anyways. Happy Saturday, dude. That's okay. You don't have to speak the English. I can pretty much decipher almost enough what you're saying. Buenas noches. Española. Por no poder hablar inglés. I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. I haven't tried to speak in another dialect in a long time. Jan, yeah, it's such a learning curve all the time. And when we think we're there, there's more to learn. Jan, it's a consistent struggle to let go because I've been programmed most of my life to manipulate and control exactly as feminine, right? I can only speak from the feminine perspective. I can speak from the masculine perspective as well of what they are programmed for. But as feminine, we're programmed to manipulate and control, to hold in our emotions and to speak certain ways in order to get, right? Plus, femininity has been emancipated for so long that we have to harness our masculine, our inner masculine, in order to survive this shit show world, and what that causes inside of us, and an imbalance, right? When we've been told all of our life that every time we speak we're too emotional, that we're too loud, that we're too this, that we're too that, it makes it that, you know what I mean, like, until we find people who can hold space, witness us, that can hear us when we are in a complete hissy fit and words don't come out pretty, right? And then when we find finally somebody like that that can accept that when stuff comes out of us, it's not pretty, right? How that's a game changer. And that for me is the stuff I've been working on in the last 2.5 years, where it's like I've harnessed that I need feminine. When women come together, we move mountains. And I need solid feminine who are reflections of me, who can handle when I feel a certain way, so that I can either speak or write about it, right? And how that's the game changer, like one person being able to listen, and we don't have to pretty up our words or try to control how things are coming out of us, and that we're still loved, cherished, accepted unconditionally, even if the ugly part, the shadow part, allowed itself to communicate, right? It's so important. Jan, it still tries to take a hold of me if I'm not mindful of the actions. Exactly. And it's like we're constantly being thrown the same sorts of situations to see how, right? We're going to react to them. It's hard. It really is. I'm doing good. Rar. Jansu says, thanks, Sandy, for cluing me in to Google Translate. Rar. Yeah. Very proud of Alex, because Alex does not, English is not like his native, like his natural language, but he always gets by within comments. For years now, I've known Alex, and he's always been a positive observer and motivator for us, that make videos. You can go back to 4 years of history of my videos, Mountain Rain's videos, John Binney's videos, and see Alex's comments there year after year, video after video. And there's always a positivity, some sort of joke, some sort of love, right? The constant, consistent elevator. You're starting to get sleepy? Right on, Alex. I'll pull a French card just before you go. It's almost midnight in Romania. I'm starting to get sleepy. Let's get a French card going. Excuse me. Lentement mais sûrement. Nous reconnaissons le fait que vous réussissez de mieux en mieux à introduire de l'amour dans votre quotidien. Nous percevons nettement que ce que vous apportez à ce monde par vos pensées, vos émotions et vos actions remplies d'amour. So this card flows into exactly just what we were talking about. The allowing for changing of certain programs and how it's slowly but surely, right? It's not instantaneous. When we think we know, then all of a sudden more happens and we're still learning. Lentement mais sûrement, slowly but surely. We recognize that you try every day to bring more and more love into your daily life, right? We see that you are trying with your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions to be of love. And that's important. Love also gets angry. Love also can be mad. Love encompasses all the emotions. Is what we choose to do and how we project those emotions outwards. That is the learning curve, slowly but surely, right? I wish you beautiful sleep, Alex. De rien. Fais des beaux rêves. Second one. You okay in there, Buttercup? Sure. Demander, ask. I'm going to leave it at just demander, ask. Ask and we shall receive. Part of the programming of humanity is that we are told not to ask for more, right? As children, as even adults. And that's the thing. Ask and you shall receive. You must ask your angels, your higher self, for guidance, for support, for more synchronicities, more flow, more validation of what's the next step, right? Ask, ask, ask. When we are in a state of embodiment that is all encompassing of bliss and happiness, it's because we are in constant gratitude and because we're always asking the questions within the prayer time, within the meditation, right? So we pray, we ask certain questions, but then we go into silence to be able to receive the answers. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what flows. And that's what last night when I was feeling a certain way and projecting how I was feeling into Corey's live stream in the chat, I decided to exit because I didn't feel I was serving a greater good. Even though I was being authentic in the moment, it was like, I gotta stop. Like, this isn't serving me or anybody else. And the last thing I saw on the screen was Kiki, who had written, "Go towards gratitude, Jen." And so when I shut off the phone and I was like, okay, what do I want? And then what do I want? I want to stop feeling this pain that I'm feeling, right? This pity party mode of I'm a victim. Everything's like bad right now. And it's like, it's not bad, right? So all this then I was like, I'm so grateful I'm in this house. I'm so grateful the heat works. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. And within a few minutes, how my body started to feel a lightness of being, right? Merci. I'm not going to try to read that out loud, Joseph, but I do understand. Thank you. Roar, lapis. Lapis lazuli, card number 30. Spiritual truth, enlightenment, meditation, unity consciousness, and inner vision. What you seek is here. If you push aside the distractions and fears created by your ego, become silent and tune in and phone home to the conscious universe, the source of all love, strength, and wisdom. The law of non-locality ensures that you can gain whatever you need that is hidden from you when your mind is in a non-ordinary state of thinking and perceiving. You can achieve this through the practice of meditation and prayer, right? I just was saying all that, and then this next card, repeating it. Reconnect with the conscious universe now. That's the message of this crystal. You are overdue for a renewal of your spiritual alignment. Lapis Lazuli Spirit also brings a reminder that your mind is a microcosm of the universal consciousness. You always have access to the conscious universe through the channel of your authentic self. Enlightenment comes when you go within and open to the light that is all around you and within you. Epiphanies, boom, this word came up in Corey's live stream last night. He was saying aha moments, and then I wrote epiphany in English and then in French to solidify both the different ways that it's written. Epiphanies abound once you quiet your chattering mind and tune in to your higher mind, where ideas beyond your current grasp flow easily, ready for you to access them. I'm going to read the relationship message. Have a beautiful week as well. Thank you, Josephs. All of us arose from the same liquid soup of potential when the earth began to take form. And you, like everyone else, are made of the stuff of stars. You are intermingled with the creation of all of life. And Lapis Lapis Lazuli Spirit is here to remind you that you are never alone and you don't have to figure out all this life stuff by yourself. Lapis Lazuli Spirit can help you to learn through relationships with others and through tapping into the universe for higher wisdom and insights about these experiences. Sometimes it takes being around people with a different perspective to start to better understand yourself and what you most deeply value. Is someone in your life today gifting you with new perspectives and insights that can help you on a healing path? Look around, for the conscious universe wants you to experience enlightenment and not be in the dark repeating the same old patterns. And often change agents are sent your way to encourage you to make that shift you promised yourself you would make. Open up to the idea that allies come in forms you might not have expected. Indeed, letting our programming fade away as to, the age, the gender, and the location where people are, to allow them into our hearts and our reality, depending, right, is a game changer. excuse me, I've had something like fiddling in my eye, and I'm just gonna do like, I think it's a cat hair. Can you see it?
Daddy, it's your fault, Paul. You spent with me for like 3 hours.
I know, but it's, I think it was in, I don't know. I need a, I forget what I was gonna say. Shit. Oh, for myself, I've always been very open-hearted about age range, allowing people that are younger and older to be a part of the way that, a part of my life path, right? So in some timelines of my life, my bestest friends were in their 20s, I was in my 30s, and my other bestest friends were in their 60s, for real. And how I learned and grew exponentially from allowing that for myself than the girl that I was years before when I was married, living a certain way, and then it was only the reflection of my husband's childhood friends that I had in my life, and how it was like I can see myself, and we're at Christmas parties or certain events that have to do with his work. His work happened to be where, you know, he grew up with pretty much, maybe not even as a friend, but grew up knowing everybody that he ended up working with. And so it was like, you know, the first year when we were together, how exciting it was to go play golf, you know, for an activity for work, or how exciting it was to have a Christmas party and be part of this. And then how year after year after year, it was like, oh my God, 11 years of, if this is the same thing, just a different event. Same people who have grown, they're married now and they have kids, but we're sitting around talking about washers and dryers and kitchen counters and things that just like, it didn't matter if there was a lot of different age ranges. Everybody's mentality was set towards speaking only of certain things, and how, like, I can see myself the year when I left my ex-husband, and I left him in mid-November, and a part of him was so angry. You're leaving me just before Christmas, just before my birthday. And I was like, yeah, I thought about that. 2 weeks, it's your birthday, then it's Christmas, then it's my birthday, then it's Valentine's Day and people's birthdays and my family, then it's like Easter, then it's other birthdays, our son's birthday, then it's like stock car time, then it's summer, then it's this, then it's that. How long am I supposed to wait? Where's going to be the perfect day or the perfect week? It's never going to come. There's always going to be that you just did this before this day. Always. I remember he looked at me and he said, you never threatened me that you were going to leave. I was like, well, we've been together for 11 years and I've been speaking openly a lot of different ways, and I didn't realize until yesterday that I had to go. He's like, that doesn't even make sense. And I was like, well, I've been asking or saying for months, years, that this or that this or that, and you don't want to take time to talk about it. I really realized, like, yesterday that we've been living together in the same house, but haven't had a true intimacy since I got pregnant with Amy. And she's 3. You know? So it's like, I'm really realizing we've not worked on any part of our marriage for so many years that I don't even feel like a woman. And I don't, there's nothing inside of me that's left. I didn't know I was going to leave last week, because otherwise it would have been last week that I said what I'm saying to you today. The moment that I thought, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, I couldn't go back and pretend that I didn't know that anymore. Because after I bought the restaurant, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I have the house, I have the kids, everybody's healthy. I'm not working for anybody else anymore. It's me, the boss, the choices. I should be the happiest I've ever been. And I started to really question what's missing, what's wrong, what is it that, you know what I mean? What's the thing that makes it that you know what I mean? And it was really realizing that, okay, so I'm married. What does that even mean? Nothing. Right? When I spoke about my emotions, or when I spoke about wanting to do things, or, change anything, I was just told, like, whatever, there wasn't any more, there was nothing. Like, I was to the point where I was begging just for, like, do you want to brush my hair? No. Well, you're just watching TV. There's even commercials. You're just watching a movie. Could you brush my hair? No. So it's like, when there's zip left, when you're begging to be touched in the simplest way that has to do nothing with sexuality in order to bring in some sort of intimacy to feel something, and you can't even manifest that anymore, right? That's it. Loves you too, Matthew. Wow. Trace B, I'm just a lion here, and a long blonde hair just floated by me, like squiggled by. I tried to reach out to grab it. In the same time that I'm rubbing my eyes practically, because there's like, I could feel, I think it's a cat hair, or it could just be like, you know how sometimes you get an itchy nose and there's no actual reason? Sometimes that happens to my eyes. There's not actually something in there or anything, it just feels like it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this card is not letting up. It's coming up every stream. If it's not coming up because I choose, I'm not grabbing that deck so we don't see that card, then it's coming up in other words and other cards. Because this is where, those of us in certain timelines, it's where we're at. It really is. It'll be a beautiful blessing when this card's not coming out every single time I stream, because it will really mean that there's, boom, more timelines have come into fruition for all, or the ones who choose to step into them, right? Number 3, between worlds, transitions, not quite being out of one situation and fully engaged in another, temporary blindness and no man's land. Between the worlds is where you must go to let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of great change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences, and in this place between what was and what will be is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There's a great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness that's greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. Seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child, glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so and you will not be disappointed. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to grab another one from this deck. Rawr, message in a bottle. Card number 15. 1 and 5 is 6. So the other card was 3. This one is 6. 3, 6, 9, babies. Message in a bottle. Communication. Boom. Communication. Where are you? Is the first card up? Number 9. Remember I just said 3, 6, 9? Hi, Rich News and Sports Reports. Don't watch the news or sports. How's it going? Welcome in. Okay, 369. Communication, a sign, a cledon, Cledon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker. Oh my God. Pointing the way to your highest good. I just got shivers everywhere, Anita. Oh my gosh. You have this same one, don't you, sweetie? Number 15. This is the first time this card has ever come up, and I would remember because the cledon. Whoa. Cledon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just found my other name. If that makes any sense. Boom, Trace, me and a friend have a bottle. We put a message in every day, and I have not messaged in a while. Thanks for the reminder. Once it's full, we will set it to sea. How's your day so far, Anita? Evening? Okay, I'm going to go into the Oracle's message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. Boom. The other card that came up earlier, demandez. Ask and you shall receive. Right? It's like a full circle of the cards I've pulled so far. Communication. Ask. Ask. Oh, my eyeball. I have itchy eyeball. When you believe, you will receive. When you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens, they may come to you as a bird flying by or a logo on a truck and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. And listen if you are not. The syncs will lead you back to you. Keep your ears open, for someone might just say the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today's message is this. Spirit hears you and the reply is favorable. Exactly. And that's why I do what I do. I'm an open flow channel. I just flow. Take what resonates, leave the rest. The potential for you to be asking yourself something, coming in here, listening to me for just 2 minutes, never coming back, but I still answered your question, is very huge. Relationship message. You can expect someone to favor you with positive news. Roar. There's only 4 people in the chat right now. Okay. This is important. Cards do not. First of all, this is the first time this card has ever come up. Second, cards don't just say this for no reason. And there's a reason there's only a certain amount of people in chat right now. Right? Expect. We're told often, don't expect. Sometimes we must expect it, right? The anticipation is what brings it towards us. You can expect someone to favor you with positive news. It could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or an email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good of it will come of it in the end. Signs are all there. If you're here and listening to this, or if you're passing through, if I choose to upload this and leave it up, because sometimes I get guided, I'm done. Whatever 400, 300 people pass through for whatever amount of minutes, that's it. Message done. Prosperity message. You are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny. And Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. See how you came in right now, eh, Anita? I got shivers everywhere. My shivers have shivers. My toes have shivers on the tips of them. That's how powerful this card is right now. Expect the call, the new opportunity, or the message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. And I love this because, oh my God, I got shivers everywhere, because those of us in this, where's my other dude, this in-between worlds, right? How we can hear people manifest this, manifest that, and it's like, nah, bruh, you don't understand. When the call, when the epiphany, when the aha, when the boom comes in, we know what, you know what I mean? We don't know exactly the form or the shape or the exact person that we're waiting for, but we knows. Right, Anita? I'm going to read the protection message because, you know, are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not just pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warnings for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interests at heart and will draw your attention to what you are overlooking. Roar! Right? Stop giving your power away to people who, there's a little tingling here, you know it's not good, right? Pouring into the empty cups of the people who we feel, oh, they just need a little bit more love, right? It's okay if he said this way or she said this way. They just need more love. Back away. Back away. Enough. If we've done the inner work and we got to come to terms with the inner, that it's us. And then other people are still siphoning our fucking energy because they can't or are not doing the inner work. It's us. Boom. Cut the ties. Doesn't matter who it is. And it's never easy. It's not Joe Bob fucking at work. It's your brother or your sister or your mother. Right? It is not the monarchy and Hollywood or any of those things that's actually siphoning your energy. It's the very people who say they love you, because they do, but it is codependent. It is siphoning. It is energetic vampires. And we don't want to say that. We want to think that energetic vampires are everything else but the very people who are of that energy. And it's not that they're bad people. It's not. It's energy flows where attention goes. We're meant to be on a certain timeline, a certain path, but we keep giving energy to certain people because it's always been done, because it's expected, because it was Christmas. I got people who haven't even checked in yet since Christmas, guys. Right? Prayers up. Because of either the energy that they gave away at Christmas or how fucking hardcore it was to walk the path of authenticity and not go towards all the past. But nobody came in to make life more delicate. Right? Seriously. Authenticity comes at a price that it's not all rainbows and unicorns. The day that you let someone or something go, everything doesn't just all of a sudden become miraculous because, oh, you did everything you needed to do. Here you go. We're going to shower you with everything you've ever wanted because you made all the steps. The in-between worlds is surreal. I was telling Annie earlier today through text, we were communicating a lot this morning. Well, I got up at noon after. I only slept from 9 to 12, but we're communicating a lot of certain things. And I said, how did I say it? I want to go back. I don't often. I was talking about fruits and vegetables. I was talking about how surreal it is to have manifest back in 2018, 2019, how I did manifest a perfect building and perfect, by the water. And you know what I mean? You go back to my 2018, 19 videos and it's like, oh my God, where I was, right? And then what was guided of me was to sell, give away, donate everything. Everything that I'd ever accumulated to be ready for certain timelines. Every recipe book. Don't save even one. All of them. All my canning supplies, my archery, my bow and arrow, my kayaks, every single thing. And how? When I did that in the week of June, 2019, I was very naive and thought I'm giving everything up, I'm selling everything. And, I made people's, how me giving something up and selling it or giving it away enabled people to have certain things that they couldn't have had at that price. Like I made dreams and wishes come true that the weekend of like my garage and yard sale. Imagine you're going for a walk and all of a sudden there's a kayak and you're going to get your truck because you only paid $100 for it. Because I was adamant, this kayak's not going unless I get the price I want. And by the end of the weekend, it was like, when that couple, it was like, yeah, it's theirs. You know what I mean? But I was like, sure, if you give everything up, if you actually do what your higher self, what spirit, what everything is guided of you, the sacrifice of letting go of the land where I was that felt safe on a certain level, the everything, how? We're 2023 and I don't have any of the things back or better that I gave up. If anything, the last 2.5 years of my life living in this city is the opposite of everything that I am. It's like take a fish, stick it out of water, and then tell it it's fine, you'll survive for 2.5 years. Right? I was watching a video, I found a new channel in the last 24 hours, and I was watching just videos of how far away I am from everything that's real to me, but watching videos of somebody who's living that life, doing it. And it's like, wow, that used to be me. And that's supposed to be me. But I'm here. No access to any of that anymore. Especially without the car. It's going to be a year, February 20th, that I can't just drive to go look at the clouds, to anybody could ask Lily, what's mom's go-to feel better? Get in the car, we're going for a drive, baby. Right? And we're getting into the full circle of a year of, I can't say that. I can't just get in the car, go for a drive. I have no idea what my skyline actually looks like every day because I can't change it. Like, yeah, is there a way to go for walks and certain things? Yeah, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? We didn't go to Manitoulin Island this summer. It might not sound like a big deal. We didn't get to go camping all summer. I can't even pitch a tent in my own fucking yard. Right? People will say, oh, yes, you can. No, I can't. You know what I mean? Safety first. The world is what it is. The neighborhood is what it is. We're the only motherfucking people around here without a fence. Right? This is the yard that people pass through when they're doing their escapades and shit in the neighborhood. Because there's places to fucking dodge and hide, and there's fucking zero fencing, nothing to jump, nothing. Right? So, just like, whoa. If I was in another yard, in another kind of little setting, holy shit, it would have been pitch the tent all fucking summer, sleep outside. I can't even suntan in a bathing suit without being filmed outside, right? For real. That's it. It's the reality that I'm in. And it's so fucking far away from everything I've ever known, everything I aspire to, what I want to be, what I need to be. But how? The belief system that everything I've learned, everything I needed to know, and how? What? You know what I mean? I don't know. There you are that way. I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm going to ask, has anybody seen that way today? How's everything going, dude? Any update on the land, the moving, the having choices to make? coffee, Anita? Same, Anita. When I go driving, whether I'm alone or whether Lily's there talking to the universe, and it's how my most syncs flow come to me, right? So I could be in any type of embodiment, get in the car, and then the words that are on the trucks when I hit the highway, for example, right? The words, how they amp me up. The songs that it's different if you don't get in the car and then flip radio stations. It doesn't come to me the same way, right? And for myself, my biggest, most powerful downloads come when I'm driving. They don't come when I'm in a meditative state or when I'm lying or when I'm in resting. They come when I'm driving. It's just the way that it's always been. So the lack of, having access to what I actually am used to as my greatest tool, right? Not there. Gotta go, Matthew. Well, thanks for sticking around so much, dude. Appreciate you. Have a blessed afternoon. Well, evening now. Anita, you're waiting on a message too? Roar. Cool. Well, anticipate it. Expect it. Bring it through. Patience, right? But bring it through with the knowing it's coming. Oh, that's beautiful, Annie. My sister moved to the Pacific Northwest. She has a steady man now, and he builds sailboats and sails them. Roar! Are you shitting me? Oh, whoa, that's so cool. We love sailing. Maybe it's her, ship in a bottle, or message in a ship, or a bottle. Trace B, yes, thank you, Spirit. Anita, my ex came over yesterday and says I need a massage. I'm in so much pain, and he knows I'm good at the massage. Grr. Yeah. Always saying I love yous to me and my son. Grr again. Yeah, the grr, eh? Anita, my eyes are blurry this morning. Thank you for saying that. My eye's not necessarily blurry. It's just got a tickle to it that I can't necessarily find if anything's inside of it. But it reminds me of how, I don't know, was it 4, 5, 6 months ago, I was sitting there and out of the blue, it felt like my eye got stabbed. And how, when I came on and we talked, how you had an eye issue that lasted a certain amount of time. And when I started to tickle my eye, because it started before the stream, then it stopped. That's why I just started streaming. I wasn't thinking it was going to keep going. I was thinking about you and wondering about your eyes. It seems that when I have something, you have a mirror reflection over on your side. Anita, it's so hard without a car and a child. It's a whole other level for sure. It's a whole other level. This being said, the choice that I made to secure home instead of being willy-nilly trying to figure everything out has made the last year a lot easier. By letting go of every attachment of what came because of the car, I'm not in the same patterns or programs anymore. Right? So it was pivotal to my journey that I was hanging on to the one thing, right? So how I just spoke about 2019 and giving up so much things that I loved, my favorite things, my treasures, some of my favorite clothes, my favorite stuff. I like I said, I gave it, I sold it, it's all gone. But I was hanging on to the car. I even looked somebody in the eye and said, this is the last thing keeping me sane in this world right now, with COVID, with all the lockdowns, with the mind fuckery of everything. It was the last thing keeping me sane. And so guess what? I had to give it up. And I'm still here. Right? You think that the one thing that's keeping you afloat in this world, but you can't give it up. Well, I beg to differ. When you finally do, it's an up level. Often the very thing we're hanging on to the most, because all of it, logic, safety, you live somewhere, you need a car. I've learned so much in the last year, and so much in a way that's painful and hard, because I'm a driver, I'm a winner, baby. I don't get into a vehicle with just anybody, no matter what. So I had never in my life lived the timeline I chose consciously that I would sacrifice certain things and take cabs to go out with Lily, because that's already hard enough for me. The energy of getting on a bus, sitting, like standing on a fucking corner, waiting for a bus, and then being on a bus with multiple people, with a driver that has a mask on, and with people that have masks on, is just too much. I can't, right? So it's like, I knew I couldn't sustain that. I can only hold my shit throughout the fucking shit show so much. So I chose consciously that it would be taxi or walking. But the things that, how it feels to be in a taxi with someone else. I've only ever had one experience once where I felt, and it was only like, it was not long ago, just before Christmas. The driver was so like miserably stressed out that I actually was like just scared for a little bit of like, what have I done? This man is in a bad mood. He could potentially put us in danger because his mood, right? He didn't want to be at work. He didn't matter if I was trying to be kind. And I walk into the taxi and the first thing is, how is your day? Or how's everything going for you today? You know, like, I'm a fucking ray of fucking sunshine entering those fucking taxis, so I can pivot the energy of somebody who doesn't even want to fucking talk, to at least know that I'm sitting here with kindness and respect and fucking honor for what they're doing as a job. And my most creepy thing was to be asked, to be given a phone number and kind of implying a date type of thing. And that was super creepy, because it's like, the way that it happened, and no man should ever disrespect or dishonor a woman by just clearly fucking asking her something without the proper fucking form and etiquette before. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't even fucking said your name, you got a mask on, can't look somebody in the eye, and you're kind of hitting them up to go on a date in front of their child, I'm sorry, like, holy fuck, I know I can emanate the single mom vibe, but I'm not doing that on purpose. And it's like, to not even be asked if it's okay to ask, and the way that it's happened a few times this summer, and it's like, it's gross, right? To be just like, I had somebody one time this summer say, like, I've been watching you for weeks now, and I finally get the courage to like come talk to you. I could look at you forever. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, the bullshit of how that fucking feels. And how the one thing that Lily knows is I will fucking pop off on anybody, but she doesn't want that, right? She doesn't want that feeling. So it's like, if I was alone, holy fuck, how I would like take it down a notch, but how Lily doesn't want the ripple effect of more, right? Anyways. But yeah, it's, having a vehicle is the ultimate freedom of choice, of being where you want to be, choosing where you want to go to get certain supplies instead of limiting self, right? That way. I had a small job this morning on the other issue. Creation has the wheel, and he does not know. Right on. Roar, Anita. Where's my dude? What the fuck? Where's my truck? truck is not where it's got to be behind the screen. Okay. I was not panicking because I can't find my fucking toy truck. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, yeah.
I probably showed someone it. Is it here something?
I don't remember moving it. I never move it. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. What the fuck? Where's my fucking truck? Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Move the candle so that we don't have issues. Where? Oh my god. Where's my truck?
the freaking truck?
This is too weird.
There's your Britain thing.
Where's my truck? Okay, go look over there. This is not even possible. I never.
Okay, we'll find it.
Is it on the ground?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna just find the truck.
Wait.
My dude.
Wrapper.
Ah, it's a blue wrapper. What the fuck? Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights.
Oh my god. No.
We're on a mission. Anita.
Where's the blue truck?
I don't know. He's not crying. You are. Okay, if I don't have a car, but I need my fucking truck.
Oh.
Move, move. Don't try to make me feel better. Find the truck. There it is. Oh my god, it's with my runes. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my god. It was hanging out with the runes. Okay. Heidi. Oh my god. I don't mean to be so dramatic, but if I don't have a car, don't you fucking take my truck away. Thank you, guys. Whew. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Anita says, I saw a blue truck the same as your toy in my street yesterday. I was like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. You brought in that synchronicity late August 2020, beginning of September 2020. I can't remember the exact timeline. It would be in the videos, the live streams that I was making at the time. I saw the truck at the Circle K. I looked at the other Hot Wheels to think, is there another vehicle? I was like, no, this is the truck. And then I introduced it as, you know, a sync flow of tribe. With the intent that anybody, anywhere in the world, you can see a picture, or you can see a true truck. It doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't even have to be a square body. It doesn't even have to be the same shade of blue. But that it make us feel, boom, that tribe vibe, that togetherness. Some people, it's just me instantly, depending on how many times you come into the stream. But then other people have manifested that it's like they are seeing and sending it to each other, right? I can't even say how many times I've just been, you know, randomly going to check my emails or randomly going to check something and somebody sending me the picture of some sort of blue vehicle, truck from somewhere, how it's anchored me into my reality. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Part of the reason I introduced it the way that I did and that I keep on perpetuating the synchronicity, the flow of the truck, is in order for people to really understand that we manifest our syncs. We can, bring in, we are the ones who manifest synchronicity, right? So think back to when you were a kid and you heard a song with your best friend. It doesn't matter if that best friend still, you never speak to her, you still think of her every time you see a certain movie or hear a certain song, for example, right? And how we can choose to bring our own things in to help each other, you know, while we're virtually not together, but still feel close together, right? Anita, not waiting, but expecting. I know it's coming, G. Anita, I watched this movie and the beginning was saying some people feel the pain of the earth, and it's called Earth Torment. Yes. And we do, I do. And Trace says, Anita, I feel the earth's heart. Exactly. That's us. And a lot of people, see a lot of this or read stuff and they feel like, oh, I'm like this too. And it's like, no, you're not. No. Because if you were, you wouldn't be able to sustain the life that you're living right now. You wouldn't be able to sustain a certain reality, or you are so exactly where you're meant to be that whether you fucking feel it or not, you're able to function certain ways that those of us who are connected, there is no bypassing, there is no pretending, there is no lying to ourself of what we feel, right? That's it. Everybody wants to be the fucking superhero and the empath and the one who feels everything. Damn, if you felt everything the same way, you wouldn't be able to even speak from a certain perspective anymore. It's just not possible. Or when you fall into the pattern of being around people who speak a certain way, you can't, right? Like, one of the reasons that it was like imperative that I stop certain connections with family and stuff is because of the perpetuation of what they choose to do with or to animals and with and to the land, right? I can't walk into my dad's house and say, put the fucking gun away. You don't get to shoot a raccoon while I'm here, right? But he can fucking take out the fucking shotgun, not even give me a 5 fucking minute, any warning, so that me and Lily are not even close, and then boom, right? And how it feels to live the timeline of somebody who, like, holy shit, right? Like, it's just instant, boom, and then pretty much laughing about it, right? Being with my family, and I'm all for hunting, I'm all for the circle of life. There's a difference between going partridge hunting in order to stock up a freezer to make a meal, than going partridge hunting, coming back saying I didn't get any partridge, but hey, I killed a raccoon. Well, why? Because it was close to our land. But what was the raccoon doing? Nothing. But they trigger happy, couldn't find the fucking animal they were hunting, shot something just for fucking pleasure, right? Like, how I'm the crazy one because it's like, ew, what the fuck, right? All of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's Anita, I can now see after a bit of coffee. I swear I'm still half in a dream. Yeah, I'm finding it that sometimes coming back to myself after lying down, and especially when I'm sleeping very deep. It was after that I read you needed a blue truck, dude. I was like, whoa. I don't know how it got into my handkerchief. Obviously I did put it in there. Annie D, I constantly lose stuff. Me too. But my truck I never take it off my table. Right? Like, there's some things I manipulate and I'll bring other places. I'll wear my necklace, so I'll take it off somewhere else. But there's certain things that are sacred. They just stay here. I can hold them up often and share, but they don't go anywhere else. Yeah, my blue truck hidden in a pink bandana. Masculine, feminine. You started to tear up. I'm sorry. Heidi, I was like, what's happening? I put my hand over the phone, said truck be found, then typed it, and then boom. Yeah, I'm busy moving everything and holding this, and it's like I never thought to look inside, right? These are my runes from Blue. I can pull a rune, but I don't know anything of runes. I don't even know how to hold them properly for how they're supposed to be. They're very beautiful. I know nothing. I've looked for books, but I haven't found one yet. And this being said, I'm not one to learn things and remember by heart, so having them and what I feel they symbolize feels more better to me than trying to educate myself about it. Yeah, Hearth. Mirth. Remember Mork and Mindy and Mirth? Mork and Mindy's child that he when he was brought into the world, he was brought in as an adult, and he was growing backwards instead of forwards the way we do. Yeah, Bo as well could have, because if the truck's like this, it could have slid off. Hey, Travis. How's your day, dude? How's your week go? Can I blue you, Travis? I feel bad. It's like you've been around, up and down. You come back? Can I make you of the blue crew? Or you're like, ew, no. Say yes, say yes. You have to consent. You have to consent. Michelle, I just texted. I'm tearing up. Odd synchronicity. And my question, Travis, what kind of truck? Said you was a truck driver. What kind of truck? Yeah, Mork and Mindy and Mirth. Dizzy spell, Anita? Come in when I can? Rawr, okay. Well, when you come in, you'll match instead of being like, oh, gray. You just became blue. You can choose to press on other channels. Yeah. Michelle, strange days indeed. Yeah. Semi doubles? Yeah, but like, what brand is it? Like, is it a Kenworth? Is it a Peterbilt? You know what I mean? Like, what? Or is it just different ones every time? Just wondering. As you can see, I speak the speak pretty well. I don't sound like I know shit. I just do, but I'm not really good at the lingo. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, speaking of lingo. So, last night I was a Freightliner. Boom. Thank you. Thank you. So last night I was watching a video and it brought back recall of once upon a time I went snorkeling for the first time ever. And I was like, I don't know, 40 something. And I was with my partner at the time, my ex, and like now. Anyway, so we was snorkeling, and it was like amazing, and it was awesome, and it was like so whoa, and it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And so we came up for air, and we're just kind of checking in with each other, and he's like, I think we should stop soon. Like, you're starting to be like really shivery and have goosebumps. I can see them, and like your lips aren't blue or anything, but let's think of stopping soon. I was like, okay, one more time. I want to go over there. Under the train bridge. And he's like, okay. So long story short, we found a sawed-off shotgun under the train bridge. I know. I was hoping to find something cool, and I had already found some pretty cool shit under the water, and at the bottom. But yeah, so we found a sawed-off shotgun under a train bridge, and we brought it home. And basically I was like, we shouldn't really talk about this. And he's like, oh no, we shouldn't. And I was like, good. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I pretty much don't talk to anybody. We're good with my part of the, telling the story. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody about this. Long story short, he gets to work, and by the time it's before noon, every guy at work knows about it. And one of the guy pulls him aside, and he's like, I don't know why you decided to bring that gun home, but you just told like way too many people about the gun. You need to call the police right now, or like, let's just, the public works here, police station here. He's like, let's just go and find somebody or call. He's like, you can't have a sawed-off shotgun on your property, right? And he was like, yeah, I guess I talked about it a little too much. So here I am at home, and doing the stuff I do at home, and I get a call saying, so remember how we found a gun? And I was like, yeah. He's like, remember how I said I wouldn't really talk about it? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I really talked about it already too much, so I've been warned that I should call the police, and so I did, and the police are on their way to the house. I was like, what? Well, you're the one at home that actually has it. I can't come home from work. He's going to come interview me after. Interview, ask questions, interrogate, whatever the fucking word is, police speak. And I was like, great, mate. Awesome. Anyways, so the police come, knocks at the door, is like, get in the house, we're gonna sit down, bring him to the kitchen table, ask him if he wants tea, coffee, water, anything. No, I'm on duty, it's fine. Okay. And then he asked me to tell the story. So I do. I tell the whole story from my perspective about how it's my first time snorkeling and how it's like, oh my gosh, we're almost done, but I wanted to go to this one spot. And then how it was like in a movie, we're like, you know, snorkeling, and then we both look down at the same time and we see the gun and we're both going down to get it. So we're both picking it up at the same time. And, you know, and at this point, the police officer's eyes are like this, and he's like, are you for real? Like, you just described everything like in a movie. I just need the facts. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you were telling me about how you guys went down and how you got brought it up. And he's like, I just need to know how many meters down. I was like, I don't know. It's like, how many meters away from the train bridge, or how many feet away from the, I don't know. And he's like asking me these fucking like factual questions. And I was like, I don't know how to answer any of this. It was like, I don't know, like 5 arms away from me underwater. He's like, that doesn't give me a depth. And I was like, I think that we're pretty much at the end of what I can do. I'm a poet. I just described it to you so you can see it like in a movie. I think you should go see Chris now, and he'll give you the details that you need, your facts, and tell you how many feet away and what side, and was it facing south or east or west, and all that shit. And he'll give you the fucking details of what happened through your language that you need. And I was like, but you just got my version. He was like, I swear to fuck. He went straight to fucking Chris's work. Well, he took the gun. Right? Took the gun. And I was like, what's going to happen? He's like, do you have any idea? And he's like, well, we're not sure, obviously. We haven't even really seen it. But we are working for... There are a few unsolved whatever things in the last few years, and this could actually completely wrap up a case or be exactly what we need. And I was like, oh, like the cold case files of things type of thing. And I was like, oh, okay. Right? So he was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, no matter what, this was used illegally and dumped. And I was like, well, no shit. Who goes on a train bridge and is like, oops, I dropped my sawed-off shotgun. Oops. Right? Like, we don't even allowed to walk around with fucking shotguns here, not to mention sawed-off shotguns. You can't just drop that by an accident.
Is it even legal?
No, they're not even legal at all.
Oh.
But it was like, we were maybe helping, you know, that they could figure out stuff that had happened in the past. And it's like, are we gonna know? Like, are you gonna call me or text me? It's like, you showed up at the door, like, boom, like this, when you found out we had it. Are you gonna tell me someday what happened? And he was like, probably not, ma'am. You probably won't read about it. And no, I won't come to tell I won't come to tell you what happened. And I was like, damn. So I just spent all this time and I'm not even gonna know what happens to my gun. And he's like, it's not yours, ma'am. Well, fuck, felt like it was mine. Finders keepers. When Chris was done, he was like, oh my God, I don't know what you did to that cop, but by the time he got to me, he just was like, give me the facts, Chris. Give me the facts. I swear. Oh my God, I'm actually blushing. I never make a good cop's wife, that's for sure. Oh my God. Annie D, I was gonna say she talks trucks. I don't talk truck good. I don't talk mechanic good. I don't talk archery good. I can't even describe how to cook to somebody or how to bead. I just can't. When I had my restaurant, one of my most bravest employees said to me, baby, I should be the one training new people. You're not good at it. And I was like, fuck no. I expect people to watch, listen, and fucking do it. You should know how to do this by now. You work here like 2 days. She's like, Michelle, people need repetition. They need to be described in detail. And I was like, well, then you go, Lococo. I'm not a good trainer. I just do, right? I just know without caring about the words. Michelle, you gonna go? Thanks for showing me kindness when I needed it most. Roar. Annie, oh my gosh, my friend told me a diving story yesterday. He's at a sea lion, jumped up on him. Oh my gosh. That sounds yummy to me. Organic Intelligence 313. I'm eating the weirdest dinner. Potato salad with shredded cheddar cheese on salt and ginger chips, like crackers with tomatoes on top. That sounds awesome. No, thanks.
Tootsie Roll. I wasn't asking you if you wanted one. Someone.
Travis, you know, being a truck driver and around a lot of commuting citizens really has made me appreciate people we share this life with. Indeed. Yeah. My life path is around truckers and construction, right? Whether I did that or not doesn't matter. The ripple effect of everyone, right? And especially when I had my restaurant, Travis, I held space for a lot of fucking...
I'm not eating in my room, I'm sitting in my room.
Held space for a lot of truckers. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of shit that happens on the roads, right? And it happens fast. And so, you know, I've been the first or one of the first to know of certain accidents and certain things that have happened, and then know the background of how it feels, right? People cut off truckers all the time, and then it's like it's the truck's fault. People think, oh, truckers this, truckers that on the highway, but it's like they can't stop on a dime if you cut them off. So they might be the cause, supposedly, of the accident, but it's because of what cut them off in front, right? Or all that shit. And so I've held space for, you know, truckers who have been in like huge accidents and how it feels and how some were never able to really truly drive again, or they did, but the trauma that they have going to work every day with the unhealed and how it feels, right? It's huge. I would wish that for anybody learning to drive had to get into a big rig beside to see. Like, I believe from the perspective of people are just taught to drive, but if you knew what it's like to be so fucking high up with a load behind you, and what it's like to see your dad or one of your best friends, like, and how, like, the fucking responsibility of it, people would not drive the same way after, right? If you actually knew. Like, people are told all the time, there's signs in the back of trucks, wide load, we can't see you unless you're a certain distance, right? They're told that, but fuck, most people don't integrate it and give a shit, right? Just parking behind a truck, what that can do, or I mean, following a truck close behind, and you know what I mean? Like, all of it, it's surreal. Trace B, all I have is a mustard potato salad. It's all right, but not what I make. I use a little bit of mustard, but not a lot. I don't like it to overpower. Trace, that's it. I'm getting up. Gonna make my suddenly salad. Trace, ginger snaps are yum though. That crunch. I'm not crazy about ginger in general. Like, sometimes, and it depends what. I do like ginger snaps, but not with my potatoes and tomatoes. Now I'm singing the Suddenly Salad song. Annie D. Roar. I told the guy on the phone today, I'm an artist. I don't do organizing. I need help. That's exactly how I feel about a lot of stuff about my life. Like, it doesn't matter whatever I was able to do and how much I was able to organize and be a multitasker before. The embodiment where I'm at now doesn't grasp or able, right? I am this is not in my skill set, mindset, or even understanding certain things anymore. Like, it's just like, whee. Yep. Trey says, Travis, thanks for your service. Indeed. Hi, Jen M. Thank you. Yeah, Trace, respect the truckers indeed. Same, Trace. It's a dot of mayo, or depending on the quality, sometimes a little heart, but a little, because the little goes a long way and gives it that yum flavor, but doesn't, like when people don't know there's mustard, but they love the salad, is exactly how I like it, right? Because as soon as it's like the mustard overpowers, then everything else gets taken away. I'm like a kitchen sink sometimes person with potato salad, of like the crunch and flavor of many different vegetables, right? So with just a little bit of mustard enhances the carrot, celery. Sometimes I'll use 3 different color peppers so you get 3 different flavors, right? I got many ways to make a salad too. I don't, you know what I mean? Not one to just one way, but I have my basics too. Travis, hey, blue and white stones show highest expressions and trust. Also spiritual guidance. I believe this is the reason for your necklace. This is specifically blue lace agate. I forget where it is. I'm not even one to retain the names of some crystals, but this one, I waited a long time, and I when I finally found it in the summer, I was like, boom, this is mine. Blue Lakes Agate, page 44. Oh my gosh, come on. Page 44. Michelle. Oh my God, I'm looking at crystal number 44. I'm okay. Blue lace agate. Peaceful, acceptance, stress-free, non-attachment, freedom from the unnecessary dramas. And that's why as well, the guidance to kind of have it on during live streams so I can try to be graceful under the pressure of what it feels like sometimes to be the one that's visible. Right? Many people can speak many different ways when you're in the chat, and sometimes it's so nobody even means to say something that can cause the reaction of what it feels like to be up here reading, right? But the protection, right? All encompassing for us all. Because if I lose my shit, then everybody feels the ripple effect. Dexter's eating your salad? Heidi, I put a little bit of deli mustard. Spicy mustard, what's in it? Just a different mustard, another spice. Wine. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, it's wine type of thing. Grey Poupon. I've never been a big fan of Grey Poupon or Dijon, but I will use, I don't buy them anymore. Like, one thing, the white wine, Trace B, thanks. The one thing about, like, cooking for just 2 and not amplified amounts is that, like, I can't rotate stock if I choose to get it, right? So if there's nobody else that enjoys something, I can't buy it just for the tiny little spoonful that I'm going to put once in a while of stuff. But they're good flavor enhancers, just like capons, right? Like there's so little, this little berry, but it's like the go-to of certain recipes, and that flavor. Annie, I was just looking up gemstones for calm, and blue lace agate was one. I need calm. Pearls wouldn't hurt if anyone is called. Rar, amplify. Yeah. You gave him the last few bites? White wine, I just looked on the jar. Right on, Trace. Yeah, mustard changes everything. Me too. Trace, I like French's mustard. Plain Jane. Same. And like when I do, like I said, for the other stuff, it's not to put on a sandwich per se, but it's to enhance whatever dip or sauce or, you know, condiment that I'm playing with and amplifying the flavor. Lily doesn't enjoy mayo anymore. She'll still eat like a tuna sandwich or an egg salad sandwich or my mayonnaise based like salads, but she won't eat just mayo on a sandwich anymore. She'll finish mine if she's hungry enough to want the rest of mine. She'll suck it up, but she doesn't like it anymore. And then it's like, I think it's beautiful. I've called her my favorite child. And that might sound superficial, but she's the only one that I can guarantee I'm going to go make a sandwich and my mayonnaise ain't gone. So it's kind. Don't you dare hide my mayo. You think you hide my mayo? You just saw me panic about losing my blue truck. You think what's going to happen if you take my mayo away from me? Okay, don't fuck with food, Lily. No food jokes.
I know.
You go poo. Now everybody knows she's going poo. We'll edit that part.
You can't edit.
Okay, well, if the live stream doesn't upload, it's just out of respect. Oh, poo face.
You went too far.
Yes, Annie D, soft mustard, soft pretzels with mustard. Yeah, I will go and make like a mayonnaise mustard sauce instead of just plain mustard. Right on. Have a super dinner. That's awesome, Travis. Stepping out for dinner. Rawr. Good for you. Yeah, the yellow pretzels on the mustard. The yellow mustard's on mustard. The yellow mustard on pretzels. Yeah.
Mustard on pretzels?
The soft kind, you know, that we haven't made that
Oh.
we said we would. You know.
Yeah, that was like 5 months ago.
Trace, a spoonful of plain mustard is good for acid reflux if ever you need help. Or a packet from fast food to keep in purse or merce.
What the hell's a merce?
A man purse.
Oh.
Heidi says, I'm the same. I'm not a mayo fan anymore. You will eat it if it's in something, but not wiped down or dip stuff. Like most of the food I ate, I'll dip mayo on it. Right, I'll add mayo. No messy with the mayo or pickles. Yeah. Sometimes when we go places and I ask for extra mayo and then I'll put the packets somewhere and then I'll find them later. It's like, oops. I always try to bring them back, put them in the fridge. So for camping or if we do stuff, go to the beach in the summer or do stuff.
5 months.
Mm-hmm.
All 3.
Yeah. Not using it for dip and stuff anymore. Yeah, I get it. I find that it's one of my last things that hasn't truly changed, evolved, or left. Like I was talking the other day about how it's like, it's so rare that I even want or care about chocolate that it can be in front of me and it's like, it doesn't matter. Heidi, I don't eat ketchup anymore either. There's only certain things I even like ketchup with, otherwise. But I'll have a couple barbecue sauces sometimes that I like to have. I don't know. I'm a dipper. I'm a condiment person. I believe food is in order to have dipping sauces and the side stuff. A little bit. I used to be a dippin' hoe. Yeah, I am still. I can have more or as much dip on my plate or so close that it's like, you know what I mean? Like, do you need so much mayonnaise? Do you need so much barbecue sauce? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. All right, I do. Okay, I'm gonna move around a little bit, and I don't think I'll stream super much longer, but I'll close up the stream a little bit slow, like not too fast. But I'm gonna move around a little bit and then pull a few quick random cards and exit. I'm gonna pull 3 of these in a row, and then I'll have to pick it up again. Okay. So in the order they came out, Peacock, self-love, time to celebrate you and all of your magnificent light. There's no numbers on these cards, by the way. And I'm not going to grab the book. I did bring it close to me, but I just want simple, quick, boom. Oh, shit, I said boom. I didn't mean to say boom today. Peacock, self-love. I managed to be 172 without Annie, if you're still here, sweetie. Self-love. Celebrate you and all your magnificent light. Card number 2, the honeybee. You're being called to rise. The honeybee with the specific pink. The power of the light pink. It's really present and important right now. I don't know if anybody else senses, sees, feels the golden pink glow everywhere. No matter what the chaos, there is still a pink glow in the air. And everybody doesn't see the same, so wail, tenderness, show compassion, and forgive what needs to be forgiven. Indeed, forgiving does not mean to allow certain behaviors, patterns, and programs, but forgiveness is the key and the way through. recently, a couple days ago, a card came up that said, it's time to make amends. And I resonate with that, but you cannot choose to make amends with people who are not ready. They have to come to you. So having the open heart, knowing that anytime you could get the call or the text from people that you've forgiven and that they are at the embodiment of the next step. And I speak of this because I am not the only one, and others, the ripple effect of the COVID timeline in the last year has either brought families and friends closer together or torn them completely apart. It's one or the other. Anybody who feels they're dangling in the middle, it's because you didn't do the inner work. You didn't separate yourself from people, so you're still a part of their reality or they're a part of yours because you didn't make the choices to do the radical enough is enough, right? So some people still live in a home where everybody else is vaccinated, everybody else is wearing masks, and they feel a certain way, but you didn't exit the timeline. Like, that's a whole other level of your personal choices that you made to stay, in certain timelines. You know what I'm saying? But those of us who radically exited and enough is enough, we always have to be prepared for never having anybody say you were right, because it's not about that. But we always have to be prepared that any day or any time somebody could radically call and say, like, I'm fucking fucked up right now. Right? I finally see everything you tried to say to me, send me as messages, send me. For myself, I stopped trying to preach a long time ago to my family, but in the certain timeline last year where James True came up and found certain Pfizer reports and documents, I sent the full documents to certain people of my family, right? I ain't here to fucking harp on anything, and you don't have to read this, but you cannot pretend you never got the facts of the adverse reactions. You can choose to never open that document up. That's your free will. But you can't say that these are just memes and memes and people are conspiracy theorists, or that we are making shit up out of the blue because we have a belief system. This is the facts of what's actually the adverse reactions. And that was about a year ago, right? So, you know what I mean? I don't believe there's going to be a Disney Hollywood ending and every single family is just all of a sudden everybody's going to start to, realize and everything's going to be happy. But the potential is always there for people to really grasp that we were never trying to convince them to do anything that would hurt them, that we were actually trying to help them to not take things or do things that would fuck up their DNA for the rest of their life, potentially. I also believe that we're all healers and we all can heal from anything with our belief system and our mindset. So somebody who has gotten, a series of doses can choose to believe in the highest timeline for themselves and not manifest certain things. But how the ripple effect collectively that we're seeing now, right, is that the adverse reactions are showing up and people are still choosing to think that other people are crazy. This can't happen to me. That woman is making stuff up because she felt this, so now she won't. No. And here's the thing about this vax, that one of the things that people don't even speak up openly is, my whole life, any vaccine that I've ever had or that my children ever had, because in my first, in my marriage and my first children, I did follow and do certain things. That's why I have a total forgiveness of others who choose a certain path, because I was a part of. You know what I mean? Even though I felt it was wrong and I didn't want to do it because of my husband, because of the programming, I did. So I can have complete compassion for others because I chose the timeline for my own two first children. I had to forgive my own self, right? But how we didn't make up things just for other people to be confused. We were trying the whole time to pave the way so that they wouldn't have to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? And how? Because when we know better, we do better. We are all in this together. We are all healers. We all have the potential to be able to heal any type of dis-ease or ailment or, you know, all of it. I always refer back to the Princess Bride, Wesley. He chose to become impervious to iocane powder, so he built up his immunity to it. So, although that's a movie, it still gives me shivers of humans, what we're actually potentially able to surpass or not. You know what I mean? I feel that although I would wish to be naive and say everything's getting better, it's going to get simpler, I think that the bullshit, the chaos, the shit show, everything's just amplifying in order for people to rip their heads out of the sand bubble of not wanting to see the truth in plain sight. We've already seen within the last, months, weeks, and year how the younger people are that got the VR either have like serious issues or just transition very fast, and how everything is amped up. Like, it's to the point where there's a war on eggs, you know what I mean, and what eggs are, and how people are so programmed to believe that eggs and chickens are hurting the planet, but that it's factories that are needed to make fake eggs that's going to help a greater good. So we can really see how embedded people are in the programming of believing in technology more than what's always been there since the beginning of mankind. Chicken, eggs, meat, right? How the whole veganism movement can be very beautiful from the perspective of somebody who wants to take care of their body, but most people who are vegans have no clue how to actually take care of their bodies by themselves. They don't know food. They did not educate themselves. They're buying prepackaged stuff year after year after year. Then add to that this, stuff that's in their DNA with a V, and how it's a chemical fucking cocktail of just whoa, right? For real. I think how every day we have the choice to collectively be in a whole other reality, a whole other timeline, and all it takes is for people to open their hearts to what's really this world, especially the Western world, is actually happening, right? It's like the song Let It Be by the Beatles. Someday maybe they will see. And until then, it's about finding the ones that see from your perspective and loving them and being kind to them the most you can, because holy shit, I made a video earlier and I didn't release it, but some of us are living stuff that we can't even openly speak about. It's not because we're not being authentic and want to hide things. It's because y'all can't fucking handle the truth. Right? If I say what I felt yesterday and why I was, a certain way, most people are just going to put forth an energy of being afraid instead of actually, witnessing, holding space, and understanding this is the fucking exact shit that is, so perpetuating of saying certain things out loud doesn't serve a greater good, because all it does is make other people afraid for us. I've said this for years. If we actually understood how many women and men are not even safe today, they don't have a safe place to live, and where they're living is not safe for their body, so they can't transmute the past pain because they're living a situation that is so fucking surreal they can't even speak openly about it, or when they do, the same old shit gets told to them. You can't tell somebody that's going through certain things everything happens for a reason while they're in it, because it doesn't matter what the reason is, they're not safe. Right? That's it. Unless you can bring somebody to higher ground, make sure their body is completely safe, you can't say that everybody can manifest their way out of this and that. And nobody ever manifests their way out of the homelessness, poverty, physical abuse, emotional abuse without other people to help. There has to be a place to go. There has to be safe haven. There has to be abundance. There has to be the safe person who listens when you speak and doesn't bring up their whole past saying, oh, that happened to me, that happened to me, oh, back in the past, that was me. Well, no, okay, thank you for letting me know that you lived all of this, but right now, you're not, and I just needed you to witness, and all you did was bring up your stuff. And how somebody just saying, yeah, that happened to me, can anchor us in, okay, I'm not the only one, but there's a time and place for that. There really is, guys. Right? It's like telling somebody who can't see because they're temporarily blind, it's fine, I can see. I can see for both of us, it's fine. No, it's not. Right? You know what I mean, guys? Shit. Heidi says she said boom after she found the blue truck, but we won't tell her. Thank you. Okay, 2 times. 2 times. The pink in the card is the color of my shirt. Roar. Yeah, and my dad is showing many of those adverse effects. He now has a walking pneumonia. 51 years old, and I read pneumonia. He has a walking I can't even say it now. A pneumonia. I keep trying, say, no worries, sing this song, like, don't worry about a thing, every little thing's gonna be alright. He keeps falling too, it's a lot. Trey says, oh, you didn't just say that, 313. I was given that t-shirt from a friend who just passed. Trey said, 313, my dad kept saying falling, just saying. Trey's going through a box of clothes I was given just yesterday. Oh, sweetie, thanks for sharing, Heidi. The other morning he fell twice waking up. He fell, got up, fell again, and I ran in there. He said it's because he didn't sleep in his slippers. I said, Dad, you don't actually have to sleep with your slippers on. Yeah. Loves you, Heidi. Thanks for sharing, honey. And Trey specifies, is he still sleeping in the recliner? Heidi says it's not funny because he was serious, but it's funny because who sleeps in slippers? Yeah. And how our feet, like the grounding, the grounding, and how there's so many days where those of us who actually, it has nothing to do with the V, we didn't take that timeline, but we actually have the dizziness come through as well, right? So collective energies are what they are. There's no hiding from it, right? Exactly, Heidi. If we can't laugh at ourselves, then what do we have? Yep. And laughing in a jest that lightens but not bullies ourselves, right, Heidi? Exactly. It's so important. And again, that fine line with the universe doesn't recognize sarcasm, but humor is the way through. So laughing at ourselves in a way that doesn't bully us into an imprint that we feel bad or guilty or ashamed, but that we can do the stupid ass shit and lovingly laugh at ourselves, right? My go-to word is dipshit. Why? Because it's got dip and shit. It's just cute. It doesn't hurt. It's not projecting anything. But I need some sort of word for when I have my moments, right? Like earlier. Anita mentions she saw a blue truck. I go to automatically grab my blue truck that's always right here. Always. Always. And then I realize it's not there, right? And it's like, what the fuck? Did I take it? Did I move it? No, I didn't. You know what I mean? Did it disappear? Did it, like, right? That dipshit moment where I was holding this and moving that, but I never thought to look in it. And of course, like, duh, this is that right at my hand. So, laugh about it. Trace, yes, grounding. My daddy said feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. And he slept in the recliner. He refused to lay back. Thanks for sharing that, Trace. Trace, Heidi says, Trace, my dad too. He falls forward. You guys. Sometimes I feel so naive. I remember when I started my channel and how I and others would speak that, you know, someday we're gonna just be sitting back, eating popcorn, watching the whole shit show play itself out. And it's like, oh my God, this is not how it is. That is not how it feels. I still see posts sometimes of people who are like projecting that they want to be told you were right. And it's like, it's not about being right. It's not about being right at all. Right? I think back to some people who laughed of certain timelines. Everything was so fucking funny and everything. And then boom, when it's their wife, their daughter, their son who had COVID and how they fucking practically went batshit because they thought it wouldn't happen to them. Meanwhile, COVID is a flu. It's just a name. We all get it, whether we want to go, whether we get a test or not. Everybody does. You know what I mean? It's part of the ascension symptoms as well. Every COVID symptom is everything that our bodies have to go through in order to upgrade our DNA. So it's so intermingled that that's why that timeline is able to play itself out and cause fear, because people who didn't have anything have it because it's part of the DNA upgrades that we're all going through. Like how beautifully this was planned from the aspect of the dark blows my mind still, that dark can work in unison together, gather teams of people to throw out the propaganda, the bullshit, the this, the that, and it's like, holy shit, I don't even have anybody that's actually gathered 2 to 3 families or 2 to 10 people making sure that the love is gathered and unified. Everybody's just out there willy-nilly wherever they fucking are in the world trying to figure out their shit alone as prices amp up of everything. You know what I mean? It's so hard not having a car and being able to go do groceries the way that we would need to stock up, because what I have to buy for a certain amount for two people, and then how it's like we have to consume it a certain way, right? The freshness of fruits and vegetables with the price of it. So it's like if we can't eat it fast enough, then like I'm looping of ah. Exactly, Heidi. It's an ecosystem. We are all part of the ecosystem upgrade, exactly. So this is going to be, unless I really get guided to keep going, because I've gone on for a long time. And when I do streams, I'm sustained, so when I'm done, I'm done. Heidi says he gets upset if my mom or I try to get him to lay back. Heidi says, hey, tonight's zigzag's going to be on Milky Way Soul Tribe. Yup. The minute I saw, I shared it on my community post so that people would be aware if they choose to go. Feeling Milky Way energy a lot in my vibes today as well. Really appreciating Zigzag and his content, just the way he speaks. You know, it's like anyone else. You take what resonates, you leave the rest. But the way he's able to flip perspectives and how he speaks is beneficial to me, right? So could be for others as well. I find as well that having masculine who are at a certain embodiment of true integrity is like share, right? The faith, the hope, how it helps, right? Compared to listening to masculine who, like, sorry, you're not there yet. You can say you are, but you're not. Versus somebody who is of action, right? And that it shows head to toe, right? People can speak about treating their bodies like a temple, but they don't look like a fucking temple. Or they do, but then with what they're actually consuming and what they're actually doing in their reality doesn't match the temple. That's it, right? It's not judgment, it's just a fucking fact. So the examples of masculine rising that are in embodiment, not just talking about shit, actually doing it, is really, really, really important for me. You know what I'm saying? 41, dog. Companionship. Be a firm and ethical friend. Seek loyalty and honesty in all of your friendships. Our friendships should be supportive, not competitive. There's a difference between solitude and loneliness. Something hidden will be illuminated. Boom. That's the second message today, that something is coming to light. Okay? And again, when that message came out earlier, there was only 4 people in the chat. Now there's only 5. So be ready. And the card earlier was, it's good news. So be ready. We all have aspects of ourselves that we do not appreciate or like. Learn to change these things if they do not benefit you, or lovingly accept them. Right? One of the things that I've lovingly accepted about myself is how I speak. I don't try to sugarcoat. I don't try to butter up stuff. I speak how I speak, and I don't judge, analyze, or critique myself. If you knew the voices in my head or the looks I've gotten my whole life, you would assume this is easy for me, but it's not, right? Letting myself flow, full flow, not judging, not analyzing, not feeling guilty or ashamed of myself is not something I'm used to. I had to teach myself that, as in the last 4 years, people will still, right? People who love me the most from my life path I love you, but I could never look at you or watch you for 3 hours. I don't know how other people do it or why they'd want to watch you. Or saying, oh, I understand why other people might need you, but I can't imagine listening to you for so long. And I was like, oh, okay. I know you didn't listen to me in real life unless I was talking about what you wanted to talk about. So of course you wouldn't want to fucking come watch me here. Duh. Right? Duh. And the way the dog, the archer, I mentioned archery at least 2 or 3 times today. The archer. Yeah, Annie, the wishing to God you were wrong against all hope sometimes. Yes, sweetie. Love you guys. Prayer blankets, fuzzy and warm. Yeah. Annie says, Annie, yes. Me and sister gave Daddy 2 blankets. You posted it too? Right on, Heidi. Good. Trey says, we each kept 1. We call them sister blankets. Roar. I had a blanket from my grandfather, and I've never, somebody who was living with me as a kind of tenant, roommate, agreement, whatever, actually took it. It got stole. I hope that person really enjoyed what they took, because it's not replaceable. You can find the same blanket, but it doesn't have the energy anymore. It's not the same. Somebody took it. It wasn't meant to be in my reality. This is the card you pulled specifically for me before. I still got the screenshot from back then. Roar. And you spoke of archery today too, Heidi? I just didn't post it. Just saw us post. Oh, it's okay. I was saying glad you posted it. Yeah, I try to be as eclectic as I can in my community posts. Like, I mean, I can't sharing Matrix Man every Friday and Saturday. Like, I mean, at some point as well, me sharing certain things is laying down the path of exactly where I am at any given time. Most of the time. Like, so, sure, sometimes I'll share a stream and I'm not there the whole thing. But it's sharing, like, everything about me is radically in plain sight for the last 4 fucking years, right? So there's some nights where it's like I'm watching a live stream of somebody, I fucking love them, they're amazing, and I'm not sharing it out. You either know to fucking get there, or you know that channel, or not, right? Because as much as there's the beauty of who is tribe and who is solid, there's a lot of like yucky ass fucking shit too, right? And so it's like, especially sometimes when I have a card reader that really resonated with me, I don't always share that specific video, but I'll share that person in a way that's not related to the messages they gave me, because we are the ones that are manifesting this reality. We are the ones that are either enabling others, enhancing others' gifts, or completely being the fucking clog in between, right? And that might sound like, what? But yeah, right? When we share certain things out loud, how? There's 300 people that pass through my live streams these days, sometimes 500. Yeah, they're only staying for a few moments, but a few moments is enough that of a projection of, I don't like that bitch, and wishing her not good. Right? Even earlier, somebody came in and even wrote it down. I forget what it was, because it's like I don't imprint myself with that, but somebody actually fucking took the time to write something. So it's like those energies are there as well. Like, we can pretend everything and everybody's all love and light, but that's not true. and we can pretend that we don't feel when we're being projected upon or when people wish us ill will, but we do, you know? And so just, I try to share eclectically. When I say eclectically within my community posts, is to keep a lightness where there's going to be something funny when I find it, something easy, fast, funny, or something that makes me happy, or, you know, the songs that I'll share and stuff like that. But the more we put ourselves out there, the more we're in the flow visibly of people, right? Energy and stuff. So again, when I say, and when cards say show up, it has nothing to do with, you know, starting your people's own channels or being on social media. It has to do with show up with what you are guided to, right? Often those of us who are very visible, very like open on the screen, what we need in our life is the balance of somebody who's not that same energy. Know what I'm saying? How people balance each other out. The open blah la 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 channel with the quieter, not in everybody's way of having certain things, right? So the balance of having a friend who doesn't have the same purpose, but hand in hand we serve our purpose mission together, because the elevator that the other person can give me of what I do this way that they don't do that way is that hand in hand type of thing, right? Or how, like I'll say, like what Matrix Man does through his platform, the way that he does it is a masculine mirror reflection of me. He's just not doing it. It's not the same, right? I tend to hold space, and he's more, I'm a chill vibe. Y'all come through. You know what I mean? But he's a gatherer, the reflection in the other aspect, right? You know what I'm saying? And how important that is. You know, you can come in here and have space held and hear certain things that are going to go really deep into allowing for emotions to come out and certain things to come out that don't get said anywhere else. And then you have the night where you can go in, feel familiar, that cheers type of vibe, come in here where everybody knows your name with Matrix Man energy, and you know, I say him, but the panel that is them, Kimba, Bam, and Alexander, right? That safety of that cheers feeling of where everybody knows your name, and you're going to get that nighttime, more mellow, smoother vibe of let's just hang out and make things safe. Does that make sense? And I'm just using those examples, but that, you know, I'm not going to go and start talking about everybody because I'm done right now. Yes, Annie, blankets are very big in the scope of things. Yep. They are. They're like, there's a reason the word baby blanket, and how, like, blankets, we use a blanket our whole life, no matter what climate we live in. Some people's can be very light. Some people don't like having a blanket and will sleep with clothes, but most people, you know what I mean? All of that. Heidi, the blanket my dad uses, I bought him years ago. You're at a friend's in Mississippi, Heidi, Trace? Going to Texas next week? Cool. Is Bae feeling better? And yes, the pregnancy sickness is gone. She's past the stage. Raw, right on. Okay, since I just kept on yapping a little bit, I'm just going to grab one more card to end the stream. Hey, Bear Miller. Blessings. All stay lifted and gifted. You as well. Happy Saturday night. Saturday. It is Saturday, right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Shit. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey, Esoteric Alchemist. Coming right at the end of my live stream. I'm about to end it. Card number 50. Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. Shout out Angie 73. Angie Witch Moon 73. Overcome any obstacle. Love you guys. I gotta wrap it up because I'm hungry, tired, and just